Now I've had the time of my life. No, I've never felt like this before. Yes, I swear it's the truth, and I owe it all to you, man babies. Hello, man babies. We're back. We're back again. And hello to all the newbies who've joined us tonight. What a strange place to join us as we wrap up, hopefully, fingers crossed, part 17 of the Phantom Menace. I can't believe we're here again. It's like deja poodoo. But yes, the plan is we're going to get this shit wrapped up tonight, man, baby. So we're going to need you. I hope you're all on form. I hope you're ready for some Liam Neeson massive dong jokes. And, well, we'll try and do some mildly amusing criticism along the way. But big hello to the chat. And I guess, we should start getting the guests out. I'm so excited for this. So let me see, which order should we bring them out in? We've got a good lineup for you, man babies, tonight. So, first of all, from a VPN far, far away, if you're unfamiliar, it stands for Virtual Penis Network. It's the golden reach around droid of choice. It's the android with the hemorrhoid Z3PO.
Good evening, Master Ruin. A pleasure to be with you once again.
Oh, we were saying in the green room, Z, how it's starting to feel a little bit like Vietnam flashbacks. Every week we reconvene, but are you confident we'll get this wrapped tonight?
I hope so, sir. There are only 10 pages of shooting script left.
Well, the pace we're going, Z, it's probably about 3 more weeks, but we'll see what we can do.
This is turning into the Groundhog Day of film reviews.
It is. It is. We spent more time on the Phantom Menace than George did writing the damn thing, but we'll see how we go. But see, we can't do it on our own. I know we carry everyone every damn week, but we're going to need some more retro baits. Shall we see who we've got lurking in the green room, all oiled up?
Scrape them off their chairs, sir, and bring them right in.
Let's roll them out then. So, set your Jedi power phases to stunning and brave. He has a sponsorship with Iron Brew. It's my number one fan. It's not Brian Young.
Hey, good evening, Ruin. Good evening, chat. Good evening, Z. How are we all?
Oh, fabulous, Brian, and you're looking resplendent in the what are we calling it there? It's the Obi-Wan kind of mullets thing, or is it the Qui-Gon? Is the Obi or the Qui-Gon? It's Qui-Gon, obviously.
It's a skullet in progress, I would say.
Oh yes, yeah. If you could just bald up a little quicker on top, and we'll get that skullet in no time. Who's the character with the skullets? It's what's his name? In Phantom Menace, C.O. Bibble. Yes, we'll get you we'll have you a nice Mr. Brown grey skullet before you know it, Brian. You ready for this, Brian?
Yes, I'm thoroughly pumped and up for it tonight.
Excellent. Well, we've got more retro baits just itching to get out, itching away like they've got the clap. So should we go to the next one?
Why not?
Brown's twitching away, worried about what I'm going to say, but don't worry, Brown. I'm not totally pissed yet. So next up, even, watch out, War and Peace. It's the Star Wars novelist. He's the man from the only city in the UK with urinals in the ladies' toilets, the Jester from Leicester. It's our resident Palpatine Swapshop. There he is. Oh, and we're demonetized.
Just after that slight sound clip, I doubt it somehow.
We've got the big guns for you, man, babies, tonight. How are you doing? Have you partaken in a Mr. Kipling cake this evening, Swappers?
I had a large chili Bakewell Ruin. Absolutely exceedingly good.
A chili Bakewell? That must have been a little bit spicy to the tongue.
I wanted to put a rocket up my ass for the Well, the stream, so I thought a little bit of spice wouldn't go amiss.
Oh, well, you sound like you're on good form. We're going to need you tonight, Swappers. So,
I'm awfully ready to menace some phantoms, ruin.
oh, very well, very good. Well, we do have, I believe, there's still a couple of Liam Neeson dongers lurking around in the green room. So, let's have a look. I'm okay. Next up, hold on to your jock straps. He is in. Get ready for this, folks. He's progressing well. He's in the top 10 ASMR artists on Audible under the category Young Posh Twink. But still, it's an achievement. Please raise your wigs for our favourite posh boy. He's the Darth Sith Lord Chord. Get out here, Lord Chordy. How are you doing, my friend?
I'm good, thank you. How are you?
Oh, very well, sir.
What do I need to? Who do I need to suck off to get into the top 5?
Oh,
So I can put them on the list.
Me.
Well, yeah, Z occupies spots 1 to 4, so you know that's. You'll get there, Geordie. I'm convinced of it, and I'm so glad to see you again, Geordie. It's been so long.
Yes,
How
I
long's
know
it been?
it's been such a long time. Most of it taken up by the last stream we were on.
I
I'm looking
know.
forward to seeing how we can somehow not manage to finish the last 5 minutes of this film in 2 hours.
I'm sure we'll finish. It's well, yes, I'm about as sure as we'll finish as I am of getting my trilogy. But read into that what you will. But I do believe, Geordie, we've got one more retrobate in the green room. Shall
Yeah,
we
I think
bring
he
him
owns
out?
the channel or something, doesn't he? Yeah, I should probably bring him out.
I don't like to wheel him out, but sometimes we have to. I like to call him the Yorkshire Ripper. The reason I call him that, I legally cannot disclose, but let's just say he's the man with the keys to the channel. He has the best chat on the whole of YouTube. It's the man rocking a CO Bibble Skullet, Mr. Brown.
Hello there.
How you doing, Brownie?
I'm good, Ruing, you big destroyer of dreams and bottom holes. You?
Most retro
How are
songs
you?
as well.
Yes.
Oh,
How are you?
we're up for this one. We're up for this one,
Hello,
Brownie.
chat.
Big hello to the chat. They're always there for us when we need them. Brownie, what's the plan tonight? Are you going to chip in? Or are you just going to chip in when your catchphrase is appropriate?
I think the plan is just to get out of Dodge.
Okay, just get out of Dodge alive.
We need to put this puppy to bed.
Well, we've been promising for about 4 weeks. So we'll see how we go. Chat, Mr. Brown said we need to ease off on the Liam Neeson dong jokes.
Oh, no.
So at any opportunity possible, I would appreciate any Liam Neeson dong jokes. But hey, Brownie, I'm ready to do my intro piece, but Larry is stuffing the virtual $10 down your cod piece. Should we flash him up?
Yeah, go on. Larry for $10 in the chat. Made you look. I do believe he made Platoon look as well.
He did.
Very
I always
generous
enjoy
is Larry.
looking at Larry. Larry's fit. Yeah. If it were Liam Neeson's codpiece, though, you could fit a lot more in that.
Oh, there we go. He's not hanging round.
Speaking of Major Look, Dark Hour for $2. Will TPM breakdown ever end? Find out today on NBA.
Well,
friend of the channel, Gavin Blackburn.
Gavin.
We've got all these
Super
special
sticker for
edition pieces to do, yeah, haven't we, from the end of the DVD?
Yes.
So yeah.
Oh, look who it is. Vex Electronica for $2 of woke money. The panel is too schmexy for its own good.
Schmexy. What's that mean? I don't know. But rearrange the letters and yeah. See how we
Z,
go.
are you available, please?
MJ UK 84 in the chat for £5 which is real money.
Yes.
These streams remind me of Airplane when Ted talks to people who all end up dead. Liam has a big dong.
Good work, MJ. Worst thing Brownie could have done was told me to tone it down on the Liam Neeson dong jokes. It's gonna be 93% Liam Neeson dong jokes.
Be warned, folks.
Yeah, well, we've got to pad the stream out somehow, and his massive
Yes.
gong is probably quite good at padding
Dong.
things out. But just be thankful that Lizzo isn't in this episode, because otherwise we would be here for another 4 hours.
Well, I better do some formalities, otherwise Brown's going to fire me. So, hello, viewers. Minuscule font on a white font on a pale background, and this is from a guy who says he's an expert in visuals. But
You know what's
we
bigger than
won't
that
critique.
font? Liam Neeson's cock. See, there's like loads of these. We could keep this going for hours.
It's so easy. Oh my god, the font's getting smaller. Are my eyes getting worse, or is the font getting small? I don't know. Basically, what you need to do is click the button, press the bell, ring the dong, and if you're subscribed, unsubscribe, and then resubscribe.
God.
Apparently that works. But look. Let's cut to the chase. We're talking about the Phantom Menace, part 23. The date is 28th of June, the year of our Lord, 2023.
Drinking game, I do believe.
Drinking game. Well, the drinking game's going to be Ewan McGregor's hair, any Philip Schofield jokes, any Brown catchphrases.
How does a Ewan McGregor's hair drinking game work? Is it just whenever we see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, basically. Any other submissions from the fellow retrobates for the drinking game?
Memes, whenever there's a prequel meme. There must be some left.
Prequel meme. Yeah, good job.
Every time Jar Jar annoys you.
Oh, God. Oh, dear.
Okay, well, I'm sure we can insert a few others, a bit like Liam Neeson inserting his massive dong. But let me finish the formalities. So we are discussing Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace. Before we begin, you'll find us here on YouTube, or if you're one of the Spotify shills, you'll find us on there. Also, lots of new people listening tonight. We have an OnlyFans channel, and Brownie is currently oiled up and gyrating for you for your visual pleasure. So please visit us on onlyfans.com/Mr. Brown's Anus. So we are discussing Phantom Menace 1999. Runtime of the movie 2 hours 16. Runtime of this breakdown 17 hours and 43 minutes and counting. Directed by George, written by George, story by George, music by Johnny W. It made a shitload of money, and I think we're ready to go. At this point, I'd like to hand over to my Scottish friend, not Brian, because Brian is a bit of a star with his summaries. So, Brian, take it away.
Certainly, Ruin. Can I just say, first of all, last week's stream, would you care to guess how much of the movie we actually covered?
In minutes.
Now go on.
Yes.
12 minutes.
11 minutes and 30 seconds.
In 2.5 hours.
3 hours.
3
2
hours.
hours 53.
Jesus.
Anyway, let's not make the same mistake this week. Yeah.
No.
Okay, so the recap is as follows. The Gungan armies have emerged from the swamps and are currently battling the droids of the Trade Federation. Qui-Gon and Kenobi are fighting Darth Maul. Young Anakin has inadvertently joined the space mission to destroy the droid control ship, while Queen Amidala and her team attempt to isolate Viceroy Gunray in Theed's royal palace. Take it away, Ruin.
That would have been quite a good Star Wars opening crawl. We should animate that. I know a few websites.
Wow, yeah, he's getting damn good at these summaries, Brian. Well, we start with a bit of an explosion. Can anyone remember what the hell's exploding here and why it's exploding?
It's the big lizard people.
It's one of the shield
Ship.
generators going for a button
Oh, that's
after being hit.
Big
Yep.
lizard people.
Thanks, Brown.
Sorry.
Thanks, Brown. Take a drink, everyone. Take a drink for a
Take a drink,
brownie
everybody.
faux pas.
Brian, I've got a present for you.
What is it, bro?
Here we go.
Hey!
Oh, there we go. Do you want to
That's-
explain that for our newbies, Brian?
For some reason, we ended up talking about the Teletubbies last week, and I noticed that apparently in Australia, in days gone by, less politically correct days gone by, up in the top corner of the screen would be a triangle with HC, which stood for homosexual content because Tinky Winky has a handbag.
Oh, Tinky
Moving
Winky
on.
was always my favourite. Rob's
Speaking of
enjoying the
homosexual
stream,
content.
folks, which is good. I think he's the only
Is
one.
that going to appear every time Jar Jar's in shot?
Yes.
And T-Gun, hello to T-Gun. He's given us an explanation for this scene. What's happened here is the dino in the front has, well, he said farted. I think it's shorted, and that's the resultant effect in the background there. But what do we think of this strange array of creatures, dinosaurs, and technology that the Gungans have? Anyone care to offer me an opinion on that?
Well, I think Little Platoon said it last week. The Gungan Grand Army seem to be higher on the technology scale than they are on the civilization ladder. So they are a little bit inconsistent when it comes to, well, displaying themselves as peoples and armies and the amount of shield tech that they've got.
Yeah, and just wondering, looking at that dinosaur or whatever we're calling it at the front, more girth than Liam Neeson's dong, or what are we thinking?
Less.
Less? You've not seen it, Brown. Okay, I'm reluctant to move on to the next slide, but feels like we're going a bit quick. This looks, in all honesty, atrocious. Why does it look like the Muppets or something?
It looks like what I look like whenever I see Gungans on the screen, which is appropriate because I fucking hate them. But he's very alarmed because, lo and behold, one of their massively vulnerable shield generators has been exploded and the shield is retracting. And so now he's saying basically, fuck, run away, because the Gungans don't really have any other tactic except hide behind their shield because they are incredibly advanced as a civilization. So, yeah, this is the moment when some of them die, but not enough of them die.
Swappers, could you do your best Palpatine on common people's super chats?
Common people in the chat for £5 says, "Go back and show me the droid with binoculars animations again. Pure art."
Oh, I did enjoy that moment, flipping backwards and forwards, and the binoculars. It felt like about 3 years ago, but if I go backwards, common people, I think Brown will disembowel me.
I've forgotten all about that.
Also from common people for £2. That's real money, folks. Grotesque Liam Neeson cock joke here.
Oh, why grotesque? Is Liam Neeson's cock grotesque, or is it a grotesque joke? I don't know.
I think he misspelt ginormous, I think is what happened there.
It is ginormous. He can wee around corners.
His bathroom is downstairs, but when he's in bed, he doesn't need to get out of bed to use the loo. There we go.
Rumor has it he can do anal and oral at the same time.
Oh, we're getting closer. We're getting closer.
Get in.
Oh dear. Anyway, back to Teletubby Land, and we remember why we talk about Teletubbies. It's this goddamn awful CGI landscape, isn't it? But
yeah, this is one of the worst CGI shots in the film.
What's going on is we get a bit of a volley from these.
Well, as the shield generator has been taken out, the droid army is advancing on the Naboo Grand Army. Everybody's legging it for fear that they're going to be blasted into smithereens.
John Z, thank you for your contribution. Brown will not allow me to read that one out, but I do thank you for your contribution. So here we go. We get some actual, well, I was going to say people, but the CGI people. But we do have some dialogue, and I'm going to ask Mr. Brown
no.
to do his best Gungan, if you would, please, Brownie.
I don't know how to.
Oh, it's just
Retreat!
Brownie.
Retreat!
He
That'll
had to
do.
go. He had to
Go on,
go.
Swappers. You do it.
Swappers is better. Hang on, Swappers. We've got a better line for you. There you go, from Common People.
We start legging it.
There you go. And we're doing it. We're gonna do it. Z, here's one for you from T-Gun.
Nisa running away.
Keep the lines coming in, please. And Brownie, you're
See, this
already.
was for you.
Yeah.
I got in there before you, mate. Here you go, Z.
Nigerian, please.
Oh, he's not bad. He's not bad. People who are joining us now, like, what?
Sorry,
they've no idea what's going on. But we do have Smilex chucking
Oh, sorry.
5.
Go on, you. So I'm sorry.
It's okay, Brown. Don't worry. I think the Lord Chord should take this one.
Oh, what? God, okay. From Smilex for £5,
Real
if you
money,
slide
folks.
down Liam's cock, you come down wearing a Robin costume. Sorry, but not that sorry.
Very good, Smilex.
Also, there's
Yes.
one thing to be said for all of this scene, which is that it still does not look as bad as the final battle in The Flash, despite this coming out in 1999 and that coming out last week. But I think
I
there's
don't
the same. No, genuinely, this is actually less flat than that was. But the same reason is undoubtedly there, which is that if you want to cost cut, essentially, you do not want to be animating a huge amount of setting and scenery. You just want as flat a plane as possible that you can populate with people. So given that if you go to some of the behind the scenes shots and George Lucas being interviewed, or like shots of him directing and talking about the production of the film, he is quite cost conscious. He complains at one point that they wasted about $100,000 on the stupid Jar Jar suit that what's his name, Ahmed Best, has to wear, and wasn't very happy about that, which is you should have known any amount of money is too much to be spending on that suit. But I think maybe that has something to do with it as well. So much of the rest of this film is so expensive to do because it is using some groundbreaking, very expensive stuff. But yeah, this particular part of the battle, it's so much cheaper to do it on flat grass plains that's what they went with. I think it looks awful, but at least there are some hills in the background, unlike The Flash, which is just eternal desert.
I think the animators would have been quite happy about the fact that Ahmed Best was wearing that suit just for lighting references and colour.
Yeah, one of them I think did reply, it is useful. I don't think he ever said precisely what for, but that's one of the reasons. Also, it was useful because he wore a helmet thing so he was wearing a weird green bubble suit, then he was wearing a hat which was most of his face on display, but the top half of it was Jar Jar's head, so it's basically a hat with goggly eyes on it. And the eyes were useful for getting eyeline shots when characters were speaking to him, unless it was Jake Lloyd, because Jake Lloyd isn't really very good in this film, and he didn't really do that very well. But other people managed to use them as references.
If you watch Ewan McGregor at the start, especially when he says, "What's this?" There's a few of those scenes where he has no idea where Jar Jar is.
Or he can't bring himself to look at the thing, which is
maybe that's the biggest reason.
Chordy, while you're fascinating on Jar Jar, can you give us a bit of Gungan with this one from Common People, please?
Oh, fuck's sake. Weezer like a rat out of an aqueduct.
Oh my God, Chordy! He's good with the Liam Neeson dong jokes.
I'm allergic to Gungan. All things Gungan give me hives. So
it's like trying to get a song out of Mega Geek. It's virtually impossible. Okay, we won't press him any further. And then we get a lovely.
Oh, God!
We get a lovely close-up shot here. What's going on here? Is he trapped under a vehicle or something? Or...
He's hiding.
Oh, he's hiding like the bitch he is.
He's hiding under a carrier full of high explosives.
Go on then, Brian. I don't think we've had you. Give us the line if you're Brian.
This is nuts.
This is nonsense. Oh god.
Drink, everybody, by the way.
Yeah, take a drink for the nuts reference if you would. Well, there we go. It's thanks, Franco. Octodevil says he's hiding under Liam's nuts. maybe. Okay, we won't dwell on that unfortunate scene. But there we go. It's kind of, is it rolled over him? What's gone on here? I don't know.
Well, it moved forward, so
Yeah.
his hiding place has been revealed.
Oh, dumb bastard. In the background, though, a little bit of positivity. We're seeing a Gungan die. A Gungan die. I don't know. There's a bit of an explosion, and surely, I don't know, one less of these idiots wouldn't harm anything, would it?
I just want more graphic Gungan deaths. I want to see them being disemboweled and exploded and electrocuted and shot through the stomach. I just want like violence against Gungans is what I really wanted from all of this. And we didn't really get it. They're just rounded up at the end. And we know there are fewer of them, but we didn't get the satisfaction of seeing them in pain.
I want to see one of them explode, like in the first episode of The Boys, when A-Train.
Is it the Gungans? Is it the Gungans' fault or George's?
It's the Gungans.
Oh, okay.
Well, and it's George's. He obviously wants to keep the rating that he's got for this. I forget what it was. I think it was PG. But you don't seem to see many of them getting killed. In fact, the only thing that falls on this battlefield in this particular scene is one of the beasts that they ride.
What a shame. While I've got you, Z, could you do this one by Pontypool?
Pontypool 82 in the chat says, "Who saw Lizzo and her dancers at Gladstone? Not my proudest wank."
Are we past the watershed, Brown? I just want to check with you. I think we're okay, aren't we?
Yeah,
that would be like shooting a proton torpedo into the Death Star exhaust port. I mean, that's some tricky stuff to do.
Spits it out.
Didn't go in; it just impacted on the surface.
Sorry to break this to you, folks, but we got more.
There's a Liam Neeson dick joke to be made here as well. This is what everyone says when they see them.
Everybody.
Have a drink for the Liam Neeson dong joke. Wow, a lot of Gungan here, isn't there?
Unlike the earlier question, it is George's fault. Obviously, it's George's fault. George is like God in this universe, and I am sure that God, when he creates the world, he does a few test runs and he creates a few things and he looks at them and he thinks, no, those are shit, and he just wipes them out. And that's what George should have done, being a responsible God and steward of his own universe. But he looked at the Gungans and said, that will do, which makes him a pretty incompetent God, I think, or at least a God with bad taste.
I'll do.
And I know we discussed this, we touched on it previously, but I think it's obvious when we troll through at this pace how much Jar Jar and Gungan is in this movie. Do we think George, do we all universally accept George did listen to the reaction, the criticism, and then adjusted the following movies?
Too late, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well,
Jar Jar's in it for 10 seconds overall in the next two films, but does do something crucial which makes us either hate him even more or suspect he is a closet Sith.
So what could make Jar Jar even worse? Let's have him basically pave the way for the rise of the Galactic Empire. That's a good idea.
Pontypool says, Ruin, please make a video of the cringe wars. And I suppose that's that little segue is just for me to plug the shenanigans I'm having on Twitter. It's a little bracket tournament called Cringe Wars, where I'm picking all the worst, most cringeworthy moments, scenes, characters from Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, and Mando season 3, and there's a lot to choose from anyway. But yes, if you want to join the fun, come and check it out at Ruin the Man Baby on the old Twitter. Okay, enough of this ugly Gungan bastard. Oh, there's another one. Jesus Christ.
Homosexual content.
Is
Hold
this
on.
like when a cat is afraid or going into battle? And thanks for the logo. And it flattens its ears. Is that what's going on here? Do we think, or who knows?
No, I just think they're a bit floppy. He's fallen over.
Floppy.
So his ears are floppy.
Flaccid.
Unlike
Flaccid ears,
Liam's
yeah.
dong. Okay.
Non-erect.
Okay. No body hair or facial hair on a Gungan. I would, a nice moustache would have enhanced his character.
He's wearing trousers. We don't know what's down there. It could be anything.
A big 70s rug going on downstairs, maybe. I don't
A
know.
mullet down there somewhere.
What are the blue balls, anyone, other than
They're
Liam
the
Neeson?
big boomers that have all been released as Jar Jar fails upwards once again
Oh, God.
It's a Lucasfilm way, isn't
with
it?
his own incompetence leading to a sizable hit. Jesus
Why don't they
Christ.
do this as an actual battle tactic? It's so effective. So I'm assuming these things are basically just big ammunition dumps for other weapons, but all you need to do is open them as they've just done and let them all out. They roll down the hill and they wipe out tanks and everything. It seems to be really very effective. Why isn't this their opening gambit?
Brownie is putting his own requests on screen now. He says, any Jamaican impressions tonight at all? So, Brownie...
That's not me. Will he or won't he? Mr. Brown Lion tells me, any Jamaican impressions tonight at all, Mom? No.
It
I can
started-
honestly say
it
no.
started strong.
No. Moving on.
Well, we'll see about that, Brownie.
Yeah.
MJ80 UK84 in the chat says, compare this CGI to Jurassic Park 6 years before it. I mean, he makes a fair point, doesn't he? There's really chalk.
Starship Troopers as well.
I'm not entirely convinced about that one, because most of
really?
Jurassic Park isn't CGI, and that's I think we discussed this on the last stream. Is that it is like 90% animatronics, and then there's one or two big panoramic shots which are CG. But because they're comparatively light on detail, I think if you compared the texture of the Brachiosaur in the opening scene to any of the textures you're seeing in this film, the textures on that dinosaur are probably not quite as up to it as this. The difference is that Spielberg knew how to use it for minimal use for maximum effect, whereas George thought, well, I'm going to use it all the damn time, and we'll see what happens.
I think what you're saying is it's all down to the amount of polygons.
Possibly. It's also like not how much you have, but how you use it, I think. And George doesn't use it well. George wants this entire thing to be a great tech demonstration for the wonders of CGI. And to be fair, for its day, it is very advanced. It doesn't hold up particularly well today, even with the remastered stuff, but it's still, for its day, I think is impressive. And I think it is more impressive than Jurassic Park. Most of Jurassic Park's genius is practical effects and not CG.
There's only 6 minutes of CG in the first Jurassic Park movie.
Yeah.
Common People says 9 slides in and we're already talking about another movie.
Sorry.
That's how we roll, Common People. You know it. Lots of requests for Brian's Nigerian accent. I'm going to just keep that in the arse pocket, and when the moment arises, I will cue the Nigerian from not Brian. Don't worry about that, man, babies. So, look, here's a question for you all. Is this the worst battle in the whole of Star Wars?
No, absolutely
No.
not.
No.
You haven't seen The Rise of Skywalker with the horses on the fucking Star Destroyer route.
Just tip the ship.
Second worst? Top 3 worst?
It depends, because the sequels ruin all of these comparisons, because almost every battle in the sequel is dog shit compared to the prequels even. Even the battle on Crate is garbage compared to all of this stuff.
Dare you.
But it's probably the worst of the true 6 films, if that makes it any clearer. I can't think of a worse one in any of the prequels or the OT. Well, no, because the Ewoks really piss me off. It's a choice between Ewoks and Gungans, which is not an enviable position to be in. I think maybe the Ewoks is slightly better than this, but it's still very cringe.
Fair
Brian?
enough. Not Brian. I think this is the moment. Could you, and thanks, Larry, for
Cheers,
teeing us
Larry.
up there. Brian, could you read out Larry's contribution in your very best Nigerian homosexual accent, please?
Larry for $5 in the chat says, and no necessary. My problem with the Jar Jar was when he accidentally succeeded in battle. It trivializes the Force.
Yes, there you go, Larry.
Cheers,
Put
Larry.
that in your pipe and smoke it. Well done, Brian. Very good, sir.
Very good.
We did enjoy that one. Anyway, Gungans, blue balls, terrible CGI Windows 97 desktop background.
Du-du-du-du.
What are we looking at here? Because it looks a bit like the opposite of Liam Neeson's dong.
I think it's one of the tanks has been hit.
Oh,
It's got a bit cold.
is it one of the lizard guys' tanks, Browns? That's happened.
Pass.
What happened to its side turret on that little spoke thing? Because I remember playing Star Wars Battlefront, and I'm sure they had little turrets on those side arms there, and that one seems to have just disappeared.
If you remember, Jar Jar was swinging on one of them, and I think the other one goes into the top.
That was a
Oh, no,
different tank, though.
I tell a lie. You're right. It is a different tank. Is it a design? I'm just flicking through.
I think we're about to get to the swinging about bit.
Oh, God.
All right.
Iceman sends his compliments for you, Brian. Very good.
Good work, Brian.
Yeah, good work, Brian. We're a little light on Schofield jokes, so it's our last evening of Phantom Menace. So I'm just a couple of hints there, chat. If there's a way to segue a Schofield joke in, and I know I lose our American fans at that point, but hey, as Jar Jar says, hey.
This battle, key moments in the film, and George just can't help himself just taking it to just pure tomfoolery with this idiot. Just
And it's exactly the kind of thing that we normally would criticize the modern MCU for example. So you've got serious stuff happening with Maul and Obi-Wan and Qui-Gon. You've got serious stuff happening, well, serious-ish stuff happening up in space. And then you get these periodic cutaways to utter frivolity, which just make the entire thing seem weightless and irritating. And like we criticize Marvel for this all of the time. The prequels, in this particular respect, definitely deserve that as well. It's like the stupid cartoony battle droid voices they throw in the middle of Revenge of the Sith for no very good reason. Same thing happens. It's tonally just disjointed. It ruins the whole thing.
What's Iceman seeing that none of us are noticing? He says, what's that on the right side of the image? Am I the only one? What's he seeing there?
Surely means the HC.
Oh, the reference at the top right. Homosexual content, Iceman. Don't play dumb on us. We know you know, really. And Franco says, die, Jar Jar, die.
it's not good, is it?
We have had a request, and Dave is a good friend of the channel, so we're obliged to go with his request. Apologies, I'm late to the stream. Any chance we could go back to the start of the film?
Well, it's taken us 40 minutes to do 14 slides.
We can do that. That's fine. So it begins with this trade dispute, right? What do we think about the trade dispute with the Trade Federation?
Politics is so interesting in my Space Wizard movie.
I'm still wondering why a crazy battle with dinosaurs and explosions and beach balls looks like a place where I walk my dog on Saturdays.
Hampstead Heath.
Mr. Brown, friend of the channel, Fiona M, has given us a great contribution. I think you can only do it justice, and I know you've got it in you, Brownie, if you do this one in your own Nigerian accent and just show Brian how it's really done. So go for it. Take it away, Brown.
It's a terrible movie. That's Indian.
What
Sorry.
is that?
It's a terrible movie.
Go on.
I can still watch it.
No, stop. You started off well. Don't have a wobble.
Sat on a
Just go.
cattle prod or something.
As Yoda once said, Brown, do or do not.
Sat on Leeson's knob, I think.
Go on, Brown. You've got it in you. I've got faith in
The
you.
voice I cannot do is Nigerian.
Do it. We've got faith in you, Brown. We've got faith.
No, I can't.
You got it. You started so well. No, shut
Search
up,
your
bRi-Gon.
feelings, Brown. You know it's true.
I think that's the problem. I am.
Right, here we go. Let's
Go on,
get
go on,
behind
do
them,
it, go on.
folks. Go
No,
on,
I can't
let's
do
get
it
behind
now.
Go on.
God,
Just
it's got
go
very
for
warm
it.
in
Go
this
for it.
room all of a sudden.
156
sweating
people waiting for
profusely.
you to do your Nigerian accent. Come on, Brown.
It's a terrible movie.
Just normal men.
Somebody do it. I really don't want to do part 7. Please, I really don't want to do part 7.
I tried, Fiona. I tried my best.
Sorry, Fiona, I'm a failure. Sorry. Get in the bin. Sorry.
On the
pals.
upside, as Welsh accent's coming along well, isn't it? It's a terrible movie. Okay. Look, back to the Liam Neeson dong joke. So
sorry, folks.
Z, talk us through this one. What is this idiot doing on the turret here? Other than
Oh, well, yes. Jar Jar Binks gets blown from his mount and across the screen to a waiting tank, which is hugging. As you can see there, it is the same length and width.
Is that like a reach around?
That's Liam Neeson's cock.
Daddy.
We've had the Holdo maneuver. Apparently, this is the Schofield maneuver. But,
Oh my god!
well done, Gavin. Good work, sir. I don't know if you caught him in a strange angle, but he looks. It doesn't look like he's clinging. Yeah, he does, doesn't he? He looks like he's well,
enjoying the vibration. Is that what you're saying?
Absolutely, yeah. Any comments on Gungan feet?
No.
Better than Breeze.
I just think whenever you get a Gungan foot in the shot, it's worth a discussion point. We had him putting his rather grotesque elephantitis feet on the table, didn't we, earlier on? But I don't know. Gungan foot or Liam Neeson's donga, which has got more girth?
Donga, probably.
The donga.
Yeah. I mean, let's face it, Liam Neeson's cock is so big, when Thanos snapped his fingers, he was still left with 6 inches.
That's a thinking man's joke, everybody. Very good.
I know. Wow.
Drink, everybody, by the way, drink.
The homosexual content warning sign's just staying on permanently now, and that's probably for the best. Swappers, can you give us your best Palpatine doing a Gungan impression for Amber Sidaway? Here we go.
Oh my god! Yeah.
Me's gonna swing from the chandelier.
He's nailed it, folks. He's nailed it. You don't get this on Doomcock or Friday Night Tights or I don't know the Drinker or what are the other big ones, Brownie?
Midnight's Edge, Geeks and Gamers.
Geeks and Gamers. Yep, you don't get this shit on there. So we're glad you're with us, folks. Hello, it did tickle my cockles. Apparently, someone put into the drinkers chat about retrobates, and the drinker mentioned it on his stream. Did anyone else catch that bit?
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Oh.
He didn't have a clue what it meant. But
No,
yes.
he had no idea. But I know all you retrobates know what it means. Anyway, oh my god, it's just getting. Okay, so can someone translate what the advice is to Jar Jar?
Use your blue
loosen the
balls is
ball.
the advice there.
Oh god.
Which of
Yes,
course
he
he
tells-
fucks up again.
He tells him to jump at first. Jump, Jar Jar. And he doesn't. So he gives him one of these blue testicles for him at his disposal.
Oh, I think it's the other way around. So he gives him the blue testicle, he fucks up the blue testicle, then he's stranded on the turret, and then he says jump, and then when he jumps, he pulls what, Captain Tarples? Why do I know this man's name? His name is Captain Tarples. He pulls him off of the thing, and then they get captured. I think that's how it goes. But no, I'm with Fiona. Like, I can still rewatch this. Well, actually, The Phantom Menace is the one I struggle most to rewatch with the prequels. I can rewatch Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith pretty easily, and will do several times. But yeah, you do have to just overlook huge amounts of shit like this.
Oh, you'll rewatch it, Lordy, in excruciatingly slow detail. Don't worry about that. Fiona M in the chat, and let's get the old Z3PO on this one if we could.
Most certainly. Fiona M in the chat says, Liam Neeson's cock is so big that he's able to pass as handicapped for only having one leg.
We're getting dangerously close to the line there, Fiona, if you would. But
my mum unironically insists that she once saw a 3-legged person walking up the street as a kid.
What?
And well, we all think innocently, we used to say, no, he was just wearing a scarf. It could have been Liam Neeson, though, and that's not beyond the realms of possibility. He's in the same rough geographic area. So, yeah, maybe it was just him and his massive dick. Who knows?
Could have been Rolf Harris doing his little act. Who knows? Brownie, here's one for you, because we know you like saying his name.
Tim, I like saying this. Good. Sorry again. God, we have unhinged early. Was that good God?
I think he meant good God, but I like
auto
the
spell.
Hello, Tim. And we do like your surname. And for what it's worth, when Brownie's cat finally croaks, he's going to call the next one Hannah Bomb. We've decided that. No, it's the cat's doing fine, isn't it, Brown? I'm sure everyone wants.
It is. She is. Yes,
she's doing fine. Yes.
May I just say that we've gone to VAR, and the Lord, as ever, is correct. But I really fancy saying "Jump, Charger." I'm going to struggle with that name after this many Captain Morgans. Fesh Quish. Oh, I can't do that. What's that? Fesh
Squishetti?
Fesh Squishetti, yeah. Is impressed with you, Platoon, that you knew the guy's name. It felt like you pulled that one right out your arse. That was
because for some reason in my head I've got Jar Jar saying "Hello there, Captain Tarples" from the beginning of the film, and his voice just came like Jar Jar Ex Machina into my brain, and there he is. So yeah, it's Captain Tarples. I'm sure it is.
MJ has a theory for you, Platoon. He says Plutz was exposed to Liam's cock rays at a young age.
Cock rays.
Which gave him the superpowers of gay. There we go. You've got your own villain backstory. I hope you enjoy that one.
Yeah, DC Comics, if you're interested.
Yeah. Anyway, any chance of getting this absolute arsehole? What's why is he still clinging on to this goddamn thing?
So Tarples is telling him to use the boomer, and Jar Jar is complaining that he doesn't have a boomer. So Tarples is about to throw him a boomer, which Jar Jar will then juggle comedically, because that's what we want from a serious final battle sequence, and accidentally hit another droid with it, which I don't even know if we've got to the point where he's dragging the tank around yet, because he ends up on the end of the turret and his weight somehow drags it, which is a really poor design for a tank. If you just have to pull on it and it loses all of its gravitational ability and veers off course, that's a shit tank, which is a shame because I like the design, but apparently the weight of one Gungan is enough to wreck it.
Jar Jar's guns are looking puny, and I thought he had a decent set of guns. Is this just the angle? Is this a bit of a flaw in the...
Probably a bad render,
bad render, eh? The Liam Neeson jokes are coming in thick and fast, Brown. Let's bring good old Mr. Kipling Palpatine in for this one, if you would, please, Swappers.
Liam Neeson's cock is so big, it has its own girth certificate.
Top quality from the chat. And we do have a Jar Jar line. Go on, redeem yourself, Brownie.
I've said it already.
Oh, I want it again.
What?
Order.
Neeson no have a Boomer!
Here we go. Not bad, not bad. And there's
He's
the
perfect
Boomer.
Nigerian.
It's yeah. I don't know what to say. It's just a lot of CGI, isn't it? I mean,
It's dog shit, everybody. Take a drink.
yeah. Well done, Franco. Take
Take
a
a
big
drink,
one.
It's not
everybody.
even the shit CGI. I can live with shit CGI as long as what it's doing works.
Ugh,
So they've been rewatching the Indiana Jones films because I'm going to go and see that tomorrow. And there's the bit where he falls off the cliff in a tank, and that's pretty bad CGI, but I don't mind it. It's not oppressive. It's not the same scale as this, obviously, but it still works within the context, and the rest of the film is quite good fun. Whereas this is just, it's not that it looks shit, it's that it's so terribly written and out of place and badly directed, and it shouldn't exist.
I thought the Indiana Jones tank was a real tank that went off the cliff.
No, because there's the bit where when it's flying and you get the zoom into his face as it's falling. And that bit, I think everything around that is CG. I know there's some CG that's involved in it, but when the actual tank falls off the cliff, you're right, that is practical.
Which
And the
movie
tank they're
was that
fighting on
again?
top of. That is, oh god, I always get these two confused. Is that Raiders? I think that's Raiders. Oh no, it's not. It's the last. No, sorry, it's the Last Crusade. What am I talking about? That's the
Yeah,
one with
Last
the tank
Crusade.
fight.
Yeah.
No CGI at all, because
I'm sure there's a bit in that. Maybe it's a re-release, like the HD remaster or something. But I'm
okay.
sure there is a bit when it's not when you see the tank from far away that's falling. It's when you see it and you see the camera zoom in on the Nazi guy's head. I'm sure there's a bit of CG stuff that goes in, at least to one of the re-releases. I don't know about the
I
original.
need to check that out. Okay.
Let's not get bogged down in wrong movie. I'm slow enough for this one as it is.
Amber Sidaway says this scene needs the Looney Tunes sound
Oh,
effects. It
Benny
does.
Hill.
We have some art in the chat. Are you ready for this, folks? It's from MJ84, and he does an artistic representation of Liam Neeson's dong. So well done, MJ. We do appreciate
Very
your
good.
your art there. What an educated chat we have. So you're taking one for the team, Lordy. You're going to see old Harrison in his last.
Yeah, I was going to go and see it today, but I put the Flash video out instead, and now I'm going to go and see it tomorrow. So yes, there's no break from shitty time travel related media at the moment. Really, really, really looking forward to it. Yeah.
I don't think there's any time travel in it technically, but there you go.
Well, we'll see. But the thing is, I don't give a shit about the Flash, and I really like Indiana Jones, and so this one's going to piss me off more. So if the Flash, if the Flash gave me two hours and 45 minutes worth of content, and I didn't really care, well, yeah, this could be an interesting one.
Jim D's not confident we're going to get this wrapped. He's
Neither
worried
am I,
about
to
the
be
pace. Don't worry, Jim. Don't worry, bro. It's all under control. Lordy, just send my best wishes to L337 when you go to see it tomorrow, if you would, please. The next Indiana Jones. Okay. Smilex says droid lives matter because is this a droid suffering here? We
Dying.
Droid suffering. Z, please avert your eyes, Z.
Where?
Well, Brown's moved us on.
So I moved it.
There, right in the middle, smack bang in the middle. There. Is that what I'm looking at? It's hard to tell.
Yeah, it's when Jar Jar's been juggling his bollock and he's accidentally thrown it, and the droid has been zapped.
Ah, there you go. Rick Jansen. I'm going with Jansen, Rick. He says, I know something that's longer than Liam Neeson's dong. This panel getting through the Phantom Menace.
I dispute that. Apparently, it's my superhero backstory that I've been exposed to the cock rays from Liam Neeson's dong. So I know for a fact that it's longer than us getting through this film.
Tim... Oh, God, the chat's
Get on
lively.
here, for fuck's sake.
Brownie, internalize your thoughts. Tim Hannabom says, I hope Plute survives Indy. We wish you well. And Jim D says, Drinker's Indy review is going to be epic. Jim, what about Little Platoon's review of Indy? That's going to be even more epic. So when's that going to hit the fan?
Well, it sort of depends. It depends how bad something is. So the longer the video is, the worse the thing tends to be. And the longer the video is, the longer it takes to make. So The Flash took 2 weeks, I think, 3, maybe 2.5. if Indie's worse, and because I care about it more, and it might well be both of those things, then it could even be longer. I would like it to be out on Monday, but yeah, realistically, it probably won't be. But we'll see what happens.
Oh, we'll look forward to that. Paul Myhoff says, how long did this battle go on for in the film? 3 hours?
It's pull me off. Pull me off, basically.
Oh, pull me off. Oh, God. It's one of Swapper's ones, is it?
Get on with it. Get on with it.
Are you in a rush, Brownie? We're on week 6 or 7, God damn it.
2 of the panel are going on vacation.
Yeah, so they've got infinite time. We can take as long as we need because they don't have anything to do tomorrow.
Okay. Let's look at some more terrible CGI effects.
That really does look fucking awful.
God.
Did anyone ever play Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds? That was like an old Age of Empires style strategy game, and it actually doesn't look that dissimilar, and it's just polygons and pixels and sprites. The tank looks okay, but it's everything else that looks just utter garbage.
T-Gun wants us to get to Darth Maul.
So do I.
Oh, yeah. I just want us to get to Revenge of the Sith. I don't know about the rest of you, but anyway, we do our best for you, man, babies. Back to Jar Jar, everyone. He's showing everyone his freshly shaved pits, but
the caps is adequately summing up Brown's feelings at this moment, I think.
Help me.
What's the problem here? Is Jar Jar? Is he?
He's still hanging on that tank.
Oh, for fuck's sake! He is as well. Look at that. And that's someone telling him to jump.
Oaf.
Yeah. Kiriantos in the chat. Hello, Kiriantos says, can we go back to the pod racing, please?
No.
Oh, dear. And Dada Debaser. Dada Debaser? I feel there's a pun in there, but I don't know. He says, bloody hell, how many weeks is it now? I've lost track. Are we 6? Week 6 or 7?
6.
Okay. 6. Okay. And does he jump or does he fall? Which one is it?
I think he falls off.
Oh.
He tries to jump. He doesn't jump far enough. Tarples tries to grab him, and they both fall off the mount. The mount disappears, and then they get rounded up, ready to be herded into concentration camps and killed. Which sadly doesn't happen, but, we can wish.
Swappers, are you available for, not a super chat, but it's a good comment, if you would.
It's a good one. Here we go.
Franco Walker in the chat says,
at Mr. Brown Alliance, some of the chat's grandchildren have grown old during this review.
Not grown up, but grown old.
Also, T-Gun in the chat, since Mega Geek isn't here, get your drinks ready, everybody.
Yep.
That's shit.
Yes, indeed it is. Yes, we do. We would have had a lot of Mega Geek these last few weeks. Yeah, it really is. Oh, but we have a change. Oh, good. Praise the maker.
Thank the maker.
Thank the maker. Give us the line, Z. We're butchering it.
Which one?
Thank
the
the
one
maker.
you just said. Thank the maker.
There we go. Change of scene. Back to the palace. Did we confirm where this is shot, this particular scene?
I thought it was Italy.
It looks...
Italy? Yeah.
Maybe the principal photography was Seville. I think Seville and Italy was filmed between those two locations, but this looks very much a bit like a green screen.
Very nice. Okay. Well, look, it's a change of scene. We've got a little bit of Padme there. Brownie, if Padme, if was of legal age and you were you were a much younger man.
Can we just move on?
If the stars aligned and the Almighty permitted it, what would you give Padme.
If the law permitted it, don't you mean? Given that the question, if she was of age, is just inviting you to incriminate yourself. It's like when the
Well-
Daily Mail did a countdown to when Emma Watson turned 16, and then
Oh,
failed
what?
to complain about people's
Oh,
moral sensibilities and go on sex craze panics later. It's just, I don't know exactly how old she is when she's filming this scene, because I think she started, was she 16 when filming started? I think she
Yeah.
was 18
Yeah,
when the
we're
film
safe.
came out.
We're all good.
But I'd be a bit cautious about that one personally.
Brownie,
'cause
how old are you in 1990, whatever this was made?
31.
Christ. So okay, let's just assume
Oh, right.
you take her on a nice, platonic
Behind, yeah.
date, a nice Starbucks. Padme has a nice squash or maybe an ice drink. You talk a little bit about your cat and about
I didn't have any
your,
cats at the time, so
Okay.
it'd probably been dog.
your dog, about your audio editing skills.
Which I
Back
didn't
then,
have.
you would have had a nice brown mullet, not
just
the
as
grey.
I mean,
not the grey
Fescachetti in the
mullet.
chat makes a good point, which is certainly in the novelization that accompanied this, Padme is 14 throughout, so I don't even know how closely that's. I would just
Okay.
move off this very, very quickly before you get.
So I was
Epstein.
saying we're in France then.
For the love of God, say one. For fuck, say one.
Brownie. Just do the line, Brownie. Well, maybe no,
Zero.
maybe. Oh my word, he's gone off script. he's giving 0, folks. I don't know how quite to take that, but maybe he's a gentleman after all. Okay.
Or just not a criminal. That's also a possibility.
I feel a little bit of community theatre coming on here, folks. And I hope my feelings are right. So, Brian, could you kick us off with the community theatre? Would you play the part of whoever the very
That's
good Iceman?
Padme's line.
Is
Whoever
there not
the
just literally one line in this scene?
well, it's just a short snippets of community theatre then.
Literally one line. What voice am I doing with this one?
What
Padme.
can we
Padme
go?
did this
Bill
line.
Saunders.
Oh, Steele Saunders. We haven't had him for a while yet.
Put down your weapon, Liam. They win this round.
There we go, folks. Short and pithy. And that's it. That's the end of community theatre. I'm sure. Have we got more Brown, more opportunities?
I
for
think there is a
community
bit,
theatre?
yeah. A little bit later on if we ever get to
Okay.
it.
No, well, maybe not this week, but Smilex in the chat says Z probably does a fantastic Kenneth Williams. Is that
No.
true, Z? No. Nope.
Yes, I mentioned that.
Can't you say Ponty
What was
Paul makes
that?
a nice little
Oh,
point
can
in
we?
the chat? It'll
can
be
we get
too
Yeah, go
too
for
old
it,
for
Brian. Yeah.
too old for a lost chord. He says it looks like the scene from Nightmare Swappers. You remember that
Oh yeah, very much. Yeah, it does. You're right.
kids TV show? Pioneering CG back in the day, back in the late 80s, early 90s.
Our friend Larry says, "Do you Brits know what plead the fifth means?"
Yeah.
I
Yes.
do now.
But then I'm basically want to be American, so I think we should have that constitution. We don't have that in this country, but it's the First Amendment I want. I just want the ability to shoot people willy-nilly. My upper
face.
school is literally next to my house, and I have some grudges against that place, so I could take it out on them.
God, easy, Geordie.
Anyone who watches Red Dwarf the Inquisitor episodes will know what take the fifth means if you're in the UK. Z.
Yeah.
Welcome to talking about 80s TV shows in the middle of the Phantom Menace stream.
Amber Sidaway says the Second Amendment. I don't know what all the amendments are. The fifth is the right to
Not to incriminate yourself is the fifth.
Yes.
Second is
Second,
guns. First
guns.
is freedom of speech and assembly. I don't remember which one the third is.
Oh.
Or the fourth. Come to that.
Third and fourth, please, chat. Or Yanks in the chat. Help us
The
out a
Third
little
Amendment is no soldier shall, in time of peace, be quartered in any house without the consent of the owner, nor in a time of war, but in a manner prescribed to be war.
Ah.
Ooh. We're getting
Or words to that effect.
We're getting deep here. This is good. I like it.
No
So
PG.
soldiers can't go in private homes without the owner's consent.
Larry.
There you go. Yeah, Larry, I'll do
yeah.
it.
Larry's on it. Yeah. Okay. How many amendments are there?
Oh, another one.
There we go. Search and seizure.
27.
Oh, that was it. And it links to privacy, doesn't it? Because that's the reason. So Roe v. Wade comes about because of a weird deliberate misinterpretation of the Fourth Amendment right to privacy, which attempted to establish that prohibiting abortion was an unlawful proscription of a woman's right to privacy. I think that's how that came about. So yeah, search, seizure, also privacy, I think.
Apparently, a couple of people in the chat saying there's 22 amendments. What were they originally before they were amended? That's what I want to know. But I feel like we're getting bogged down in amendments here, man, babies.
Yeah, there's more because there's the 19th and the 26th, I think, have to do with what happens when there's like an electoral college tie. I think that's what happens. Yeah, anyway. But nothing to do with Star Wars. Although George did do politics in the prequels. I don't think he went into this depth.
Yeah, T-Gun says, love how the stream deteriorated into discussing US Constitution.
You don't get that on Doomcock.
No, you don't. Talking of constitutions, how's yours, Mr. Brown?
It's holding up at the moment.
Oh, good.
Get on with it.
With your one can.
Can I recommend plenty of prune juice, Brown?
I love prune juice.
Yeah, plenty of prune
Warrior
juice.
drink.
And a small stool to rest
That's afterwards, isn't it?
to rest your veto.
We don't have a constitution in this country, but we do still operate from common law. So our constitution is consistently and constantly being added to, and that means that very few things are ever removed from it. So it is still in this country illegal to, and I quote, handle a salmon in suspicious circumstances.
Colin salmon.
Like you can't flap your rugs outdoors in London after 9 p.m. I think is one of them. And you can shoot Scotsmen in the back in Newcastle after 10 p.m.
You can
Brian, be careful.
You can also fire a bow and arrow at a Welshman within the walls of Chester City. That's one of my favourites. So we do have some odd ones over here, but
Space everybody. Practical models. Take a drink.
Brownie, are we anywhere near a look at that moment, or no? Is it not tinkling your little wiener?
No, not at the moment.
No. Okay, we're trying. Okay, but it's a space shot. A little bit of space and a planet, and what's this? This a ship?
Vulture droid.
Oh, there we go. Vulture droid. What do you know about the vulture droid, Brian?
It's a very low-grade transformer.
Oh. God. R2 says, look at that. Look at chat. Very good. Well, we won't dwell on the vulture droid, but we do have this is R2, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yeah, it's been a while since sitting very proudly there and very exposed in his cockpit.
This particular vulture droid hits the ship. It sends young Anakin spinning into the droid control ship.
R2 in the chat enjoying seeing himself looking good, R2. You are looking good. As that's Anakin's line, isn't it?
This is slightly irritating as well because this is just incredibly lucky. And I can't think of another moment, certainly in A New Hope, which is basically the parallel scene, where luck is similarly involved. So obviously when Luke goes down the Death Star trench and has to fire the proton torpedo into the exhaust port, that is only possible because the Force is guiding him. Whereas in this one, Anakin just gets hit and gets a lucky spin, which happens to take him in to the right hangar, which happens to be right next to the droid control ship's reactor. And that's just... I don't like it when films have recourse to luck when they don't necessarily need to have. And this one didn't need to put it this way, but it did. And it's just lazy writing, really, which is irritating.
I think it's because of his age that he's putting these things. Oh, it has to be luck. It's his age. It's not just his skill level. And it's clashing with the other need, as we spoke about maybe a couple of weeks ago, saying that he has to be very young for that loss of his mother, or being separated from his mother, to take real effect. So you get two different things clashing here, and that's why I think it's bollocks.
It is. Well, no, it's not stream killer. It's just I don't think Brown's read the message yet that Ruin's gone off for a piss, so someone's going to have to take over the stream. But no, you're right about that, and I think we were talking about that again a couple of weeks ago. Is that can you make Anakin older in this film without losing that emotional appeal of the sort of parental detachment aspect to it? And I think we probably agreed that you can make him a bit older, which eliminates the need for certain elements of luck in this script without losing the dramatic and that very emotional scene when he leaves his mum. Like 12, 13, maybe. Sorry.
Yeah, true. You could do that. You could also just have literally maybe one line saying that I had to leave my mother when I was younger. And that's it. That would work, I think, as long as you'd have to restructure the entire story. But there's so much focus, and I think George Lucas tried to make, because of the popularity of Darth Vader, he tried to make it almost like a character study on Anakin, which I don't think was a good move.
I don't know. See, I think some of that does work very well. It's everything around it, which is just so much of it is padding as an excuse to make that appear on the screen. That it drags the rest of the film down. So I think you either have to lose one or the other. I'd say I personally wouldn't lose actually seeing him being torn away from his mum, because I think that is very, very powerful. And ideally you show rather than tell. But if you make him older, then you can make him a bit more competent in situations like this. You can also make the Jedi's rejection of him for training a bit more plausible. He becomes a bit of a better character from the first film. So it's not as though everything else around him has to be structured to accommodate the fact that he is basically a baby, and you can have him with a bit more agency and talent and ability. But I wouldn't lose the scene personally. I like the idea of focusing on it because, of course, as well, this entire 3 films is supposed to be mirroring Luke Skywalker's journey. So as we see Luke ascend, we are seeing Anakin descend, which is powerful. I like that as an idea and as a concept. I think that's a really good way to structure a story. It's just that George Lucas doesn't really do it well at all. It's a bit embarrassing the way he goes about it, but I wouldn't lose the idea personally.
And also, as a parallel in the prequels, we see the Empire rising, and then by the originals, we see the Empire eroding.
Yeah, which is it's so, you know, there's all of the people who attempt to go back and read a huge amount of motive and intent and genius into what George Lucas does with the prequels. Is the ring theory of writing. I think Red Letter Media covered this, or the Plinkett reviews covered that. Scathingly, and I think there's a bit more merit to it than Plinkett maybe gave him credit for. The idea was clearly there. These are basically stories moving in the precise opposite directions, and they will overlap at a certain point. And I think as a concept, that's brilliant. It's just the delivery is so badly lacking. And yeah, the only reason that we've somehow spawned off in this conversation is because while Anakin is spinning and we are spinning out, Ruin is pissing, and Brown hasn't taken up the flag. So.
I'm back. Don't worry, man, babies. I'm back. And God, Brownie, I asked you to do one thing. I had to maneuver my unfortunately not Liam Neeson-sized dong to the bathroom and empty the old bladder. But I'm back and I'm refueled. I've got.
If I may,
Morgan, please. Now
if
you
I
want
may,
to. Now you want to chip in, do you?
Hey.
Cheers, chat.
He's cracked his can.
Salute, chat. Good health.
Canon.
Good
so
health.
our 2
chat.
nominal hosts, one was away pissing because he's been drinking, and the other one was away getting a drink. What a professional stream.
Can I just say, Ruin, that the pro wears a large adult nappy while doing such a stream if one has a dodgy bladder through several pints of Captain Morgan.
Well, pisses in a bottle underneath the camera, although you're not even on
cheers,
camera, still fine.
Yeah, normally
it's sad. You forced Brian and I to actually have a serious conversation about writing in Star Wars.
Yeah, in the chat, we're loving it.
Well, that's good then. Less Liam Neeson talk and a bit more writing stuff.
This would have been a lot less clunkier if they'd actually said the shield generator is located in the main hangar, coordinate your attacks. And then R2 would have automatically received that and adjusted the craft accordingly. It wouldn't have seemed so much of an accident as something that he was meant to do.
Well, the alternative, if you really wanted the parallel to be brought out, and again, this would be better with an older Anakin who's had a bit more time to acclimatize to the Force, albeit in an untrained way, is that you have, just as Obi-Wan contacts Luke and gives him the advice and the inspiration he needs. It would be hard. You couldn't really embody the voice because there isn't a character to play that same role. But if Anakin in some way was shown tuning into the Force to effectively make a Force-educated guess that leads him in the right direction, making it more directed as opposed to lucky, and then again you have the stronger parallel between this film and the one that it is supposed to be mirroring. So there are plenty of ways you can keep most of the architecture of this film intact, but just make it better. And George Lucas took none of those, which is disappointing.
No, you could have had him reach out with his hand and his battle computer light up.
Yeah.
Which would have at least conveyed that he has access to those systems.
Kiriantos in the chat says, just going back to the discussions about the emptying of bladders, why didn't we just piss on camera? I should have, really. Yeah, that's a good point.
We can confirm, I think, with some solidity that Liam Neeson's dick is bigger than Gavin McGuinness's. So that's something FNT has given us.
It's so big, in fact, that as soon as Denny Villeneuve gets the insurance sorted out, Timothy Chalamet will be riding it in the next Dune movie.
How did this starfighter get through the shields? Because I thought that when I was watching it in the theatre back in '99, I thought,
yeah,
just me?
No, it's not. You're right. And episode 3 goes and tries to correct that mistake because there's a more visible shield, and when the shield goes down, there's blast doors that cover the thing as well. In this case, there don't seem to be any shields covering the hangar bay, but there's also nothing to stop gravity or the force of gravity getting out. So it's tenable if you don't show any battle droids wandering around the floor, but unfortunately they do that. So there's no shield, there's no atmosphere. Battle droids are still walking around as though there is atmosphere and gravity. It doesn't make any sense. Whereas episode 3 at least took the time to show them destroying the shields and flying in. And I wouldn't be surprised if Lucas had actually read some of the criticism and addressed that deliberately.
Isn't there a line where one of the Trade Federation controllers is nothing can get through our shields? Which makes it even worse.
Yeah, because that's later on. It's after he blows up the reactor. And then one of them says there's a power failure in the main reactor, and then he says, impossible, nothing can get through our shields. And they're right, because nothing gets through the shields on the outside, but none of them apparently thought just to shoot into the apparently unshielded hangar, which is, I mean, it's unnecessary. It's a nitpick. There's so many ways you can easily fix it, and George Lucas did fix it later on, so no real excuse for that, really.
There's the Naboo starfighter there. Can you see it?
Yeah, it's a yellow blur.
Nicely paused, Brown.
And Z, we've got some kind of, it looks like it could be a protocol droid, I don't know, but maybe you could tell us. What are we looking at, Z?
Well, these are 2 battle droids upon the control ship.
Oh, right.
Even I can see that.
Oh, good God. I need to upgrade my, 1990s.
How much have you had to drink?
Well, you know, I've got the chat going on. I've got the screen, I'm looking at the small window. I'm 45-year-old eyes failing me. But, okay. Sorry, Z.
Certainly, in the games, their designations are given by the colors on their shoulders. So the blue ones are pilots and mechanics, I think. And red ones are commanders, generals. And ones with no color on shoulders are just generic battle droids. I think there's green as well for some other rank. So those have blue markings on the shoulders, which would indicate, science, tech.
Swappers, can you do your best Anakin? I think it's Anakin.
What? 8-year-old Anakin. Okay. Red Sai in the chat says, Lucas apologized for the Phantom Menace.
No, I mean on the
what a balls up.
the line.
I know what you wanted me to do. I'm asking around. I'm trying to stop.
Now can you do your best Anakin with Larry's comments?
Liam Neeson hit your unshielded hangar.
Oh, I tell you what, his game is swappers, isn't he? He's not like trying to get a song out of Mega Geek or a Gungan out of Chordy or a bloody Nigerian accent.
I am happy to confirm there has never been a Gungan in me, so it's never going to happen. I'm not that low in base, so I do agree with the previous commenter though. I think Attack of the Clones is miles better than this film. I understand why people don't like it. I don't think it's what people wanted from Star Wars. But that doesn't necessarily make everything about it completely flawed. There are some really good, strong moments in it.
I will say, if I can get to 3,000 subs,
12-hour AOTC stream.
we are going to do a 12-hour Attack of the Clones stream.
Yay!
Oh,
But we've got to get to 3,000 subs. So spread the word, folks. If you're watching this and you're not subscribed, press the subscribe button.
there's not enough Captain Morgans in the northwest of England
I
to get
like
me through that.
Attack of the Clones.
I don't mind it. Yeah, it's got some moments. Brian, being the little tease he is, says it's almost time for Qui-Gon versus Maul.
Oh,
The word "almost" is doing a lot of heavy lifting there, folks. So when he says, "almost," he means within the next couple of weeks. We'll see how we go. So this is Anakin still dicking about in this little ship, isn't it?
Yeah, he's crashing it. It's sliding across the floor, and fortuitously comes to a halt before it smashes into a wall and kills him.
Well, if only. Swappers, we've got a Palpatine line, so it's only fitting that you give us this one, if you would.
Adam Gray in the chat says,
Feel the misery flowing through you.
very good.
Cam's
Hello,
Crash
Cam.
Courses.
Yeah, the
Hello,
stuntman
Cam.
of YouTube.
Oh, and he's given some nice words there. There's no Liam Neeson dong jokes. There's no Schofield jokes. There's no, it's just a wholesome
I
message.
hate to say this, but Cam apparently packs a 10-incher. I kid you not.
Really?
I hesitate
Just
to ask
4
how
inches.
you know this.
Just 4 inches short of Liam's, he told us on a stream.
Impressive. Time to execute Order 69.
It can't be that big.
He told you on a stream and you believed him.
Yeah,
You
back
have
in
to
the
get
day.
If
to
I say,
know.
well, my penis is 20 inches long.
Well,
And
you
we're
have
on
to
a
get
stream
to know
together.
Cam. If you get
Oh.
to know Cam, you'll go, this man is not kidding about this.
Well, my penis
terrifying.
is 12. My penis is
You don't
12
use it as a
inches.
rule.
Moving on.
Well,
Yeah, but
just
Liam Neeson's is so big, somebody attempted to fly a pride flag from it, and so he beat them to death.
just to subvert expectations, mine's inverted. So have at it, man, babies. There we go. Okay, so anyway, enough of the dong
Move
talk.
on.
As a child actor, and
Swappers, every time you got to do the voice, mate. Every time, come on.
Everything's overheated.
it's actually way better than the original actor.
There's a reason Jake Lloyd was characters called Mannequin Skywalker.
I thought that was Christensen.
He's got the acting chops of a Thunderbirds puppet.
Hey,
He's
they were
not that
good.
good.
The puppets were great.
Yeah, it's not that good.
Jim D in the chat says, I think the scene with Obi-Wan fighting Django next to Slave One on the landing platform in the rain is pure Star Wars and as good as most of the stuff from the original trilogy. Not to get bogged down in Attack of the Clones, but I am looking forward. There is some real standout scenes in Attack of the Clones, and that's one of them, isn't it? Yeah. Good shout, Jim.
It's
We
just it comes
appreciate
so soon after one of the weakest bits, which is that recourse to stuff that doesn't even exist in the film. Because I will always be a critic of anyone who says, "Well, if you read the comics or if you read the novelization or if you read something that isn't in the film, then something in the film makes sense." So when Obi-Wan is told that Master Cypher Dyas places the order for the clone army, no one in the audience knows what the hell anyone is talking about there. I'm still not sure what anyone's really talking about there because it's never referenced in any of the films. It doesn't make any real sense. And I know you can go into the stuff that was subsequently written around it, but having recourse to that kind of material is just it's such a cheap way of moving
Clone
forward.
Wars Platoon. Actually, Brown's gone.
Sorry.
Brown's lost it, folks.
He said half a can of Bud Light, and this is where we are.
Well,
thank fuck.
Hold
He's
on
only
to
opened it. He's not actually drank any of it. He's just opened it and sniffed
I've just looked at it.
Smashed, isn't he?
Cheers, everybody.
Hold on to your 10-incher cam, because here's the Dongmeister
Oh,
himself.
here we go.
Yeah. So we return, and it's a great shot, this, isn't it? Because we've got Liam. Well, obviously in the foreground, I think we're just about seeing the silhouette of Maul. Then in the mid-ground, I suppose, we've got Liam Neeson in his meditational pose, and then in the distance, we've got Obi-Wan, haven't
It's
we?
just thinking, don't get a boner, don't get a boner, don't get a boner.
I will take this any day over politics.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it depends what politics, Brownie. I do like a bit of taxation and trade disputes.
Drink.
Okay, chat. You've been slacking on us, chat. What is Liam Neeson thinking of here in this pose? We've already got some submissions, so let's have a look. Smilex says Liam is thinking about Volvos. Calm himself down.
Why Volvo specifically?
I think it's a typo. It should be.
I mean, I think it is,
VU.
but I prefer it not being a typo because I like the idea that he's thinking of a really boring car. Like, what's the least sexually arousing thing in the world? Well, it's probably a middle-aged man driving a Volvo. It's
Tim Hannabomb says, "Ruin, you are a git," but he's accidentally pressed the F. But I'm taking it, Tim Hannabomb. We like that. What else is he thinking of? Larry says, "I could really use a sandwich." Let's see. Brian, do you want to take Dave's one, Brian?
Dave Dislikes in the chat says, I should have shafted Shmee.
Oh, no, I've got one.
Oh, go on, Brown. He's having fun.
Oh, God.
Seemingly, Liam Neeson was quite disappointed that there was no action between his character and Pernilla August's character because he quite fancied her partner.
Oh, I bet he wanted to unleash the wang, didn't he? Franco says, "Don't trip over my dick," and yeah, well, there's some we can't display on screen, but
there's a few there. Naughty
there's
boys and girls. There's a few naughty little boys and girls.
So we'll move on. Now, look, it's getting exciting here, man, babies. The Ewan is, or Obi-Wan rather, is waiting for the laser doors to open so he can go and back up Qui-Gon. That's what's happening, isn't it?
Yep.
And as we complained about last week, and as someone in chat has already pointed out, he could be using force speed every single time these things open and doesn't. So, oh God, George.
Are these shield generators lightsaber proof? Could you just shove your blade in and then break?
No.
Yes.
No. Yes.
They are lightsaber proof.
Oh, they are lightsaber proof because Darth Maul teases it, doesn't he?
Yeah, he does. I still think Qui-Gon should have moonwalked back so that him and
like Kylo Ren?
Yes, exactly like Kylo. At 17 of those maneuvers, he would have been right behind Obi-Wan and ready to go for round 2.
Yeah, or just waited for Obi-Wan to catch up. Yeah.
Nice close-up shot.
I would guess. I mean, so I think you're probably right about that. I think the only mitigating thing I can think of is that if he moves backward and Maul moves in with him, then he's in incredibly close quarters with a guy with a double-bladed lightsaber, and he doesn't have the room to maneuver around it. So
there was a lot of innuendo in that.
But no, I mean, that would be my guess tactically as to why he doesn't go back as opposed to forward, because I think that might be a bit of a reach, but I can see some validity in that argument.
Always use a dagger in close quarters, as Pedro Pascal's character said in Game of Thrones.
I will just say to Hostman, I totally agree 100%. George bit off a bit more than what he could chew.
Oh, George. But look, a nice close-up of Liam Neeson here. It looks like he's, a bit like my good self trying to kill one out at 11 bells. But, yes. What do we Why is he so shiny here? Is he getting a bit of a sweat on from the heat off the laser doors? Is he?
The heat, wasn't it, from the laser
Heat.
Well,
gates?
he has been in
doors, yeah.
high intensity lightsaber combat for the last several
Oh,
minutes, so
yes,
wouldn't be
because-
surprised if it was just normal exertion.
Forgetting it was so many weeks ago. And here we go. Is this it? We're on. As the
We're on.
doors opened and.
Yep.
Wow, there we go. Maul's attire. Is it the best attire for fighting in? This kind of thick black cloak type?
No,
Get
but
up
it is
and
very, very cool.
Oh, it's cool.
Is it 100%
cool as hell.
cotton? Moving on.
Look, I do think there is something we need to revisit, and we've got 172 people, and I'm sure everyone's got an opinion on it. It's potentially our last time discussing
No, it's not.
Phantom Menace. I'm hoping it is. We need a definitive answer. What does Maul's cock look like? I know.
What were the options again?
So your options are pure black,
We should have done a poll. Never mind.
pure red, black and red with horns on.
I think
With
it's
barbs.
Zabrak military and Sith tradition to get themselves tattooed all over, because the red and black is tattoos, and they endure immense pain, I think, to get those tattoos. So, well, what's more painful than being tattooed on your penis? So I think to honor his own discipline, he would have to have a red and black penis.
Thank God Qui-Gon wasn't the Sith. Imagine the shift that guy'd have to put in.
Can you imagine how much ink
Yeah.
they'd use?
Oh, yeah. The chat they're away. They're discussing this in
Flash
great
'em up.
detail. Yeah, let's get them up
Go
there.
on, flash them up.
Black and red zebra, like a dog's with bobs.
Oh,
Small and wrinkly. Oh, I don't know about that.
that's me.
Red in color, black in size. Oh,
Oh, here you go,
interesting.
folks. Ruin, do you want to do this?
Yeah, so Spark7907, he sent you non-official coinage, but we'll take it all the same. And he says black with red stripes or red with black stripes. I can't see what the emoji is, but what's that emoji mean?
It's thinking.
Thinking emoji. It's one or the other. Fair play to you, Sparksy. Good to see you. Oh, what was that ding there? Is that,
Mate, sorry, that's my phone.
Well, I think for being so impolite, you're not going to have to share that message with the stream.
Yeah, come on, Brown. What is it?
Shall I?
Don't think about it. Just read it out in your Nigerian accents.
One of our chat members is not happy at us taking. How many weeks have we been doing this? Yeah.
It took him this long to register a complaint. It took till week 7.
No, it's a couple of weeks ago. It's not his
Okay.
thing. Yeah, fair enough.
Okay.
Well, then the simplest solution is don't click on the stream.
We
It's not
didn't
hard.
plan on doing this. It just evolved organically. Sorry, folks.
There's no need to apologize. If you don't want to watch, like, I don't complain to ITV whenever I don't want to watch ITV.
Oh, I do.
If you don't want to watch something on YouTube, don't click the damn stream.
No,
It's not hard.
in fairness, there's only one way to possibly make it up to him. And that's with some Liam Neeson dong jokes. Go chat, Liam Neeson dong jokes.
I was going to say 3 more weeks of the Phantom Menace stream just to rub it in.
Well, there's another week.
Brownie,
if we don't
you've removed Hostman Socrates.
Oh, sorry.
$5.
Oh, sorry,
super
mate.
Chat.
I'm getting.
He says,
flustered
more
here.
importantly, what does does Maul's cool shot look like?
Shot.
Wait, what? I imagine it's multicolored. I don't know. Rainbow colored. That's the month we're in, isn't it? I don't know. Anyway, no more dick jokes. No more Schofield.
For the moment.
No more having fun. No more laughing. Just serious analysis. Let's just get through this. What's it? Timing. What's he saying now,
Secret
Brown?
comedy.
What's he
Oh.
saying now, Brown?
No, that was
Brown.
the kind of when you get a text and you don't read it and then it pings again 3 minutes later.
Oh.
Right, okay.
Ew. Sorry, folks. Very unprofessional. Moving on.
Yeah.
I like it. I want to hold an argument with someone via the medium of your screen and your phone.
Well, he's not here. He fucked off after 5 minutes.
Evidently.
Well, he's missing out then. There's 181 retrobates enjoying themselves here, Brown. Let's
Well, we think they are.
well, let's keep it going. Look, Common People's
Swapshop.
one of them. And Swappers, would you like to put your voice to Common People's garbled message?
Any particular voice we're talking about here?
He's getting ballsy
Liam
now.
Neeson.
Liam Neeson, yeah.
Oh God! Common People in the chat for £5 says Qui-Gon swinging his lightsaber again. Wait a minute, that's not a lightsaber.
There's a fight going on, and we're just talking about dongs and
No, you are.
text messages. Well, look, we're getting to a crucial point in the movie here, and finally the door opens. Would you like that animation there? Look, door closed, door open. There we go.
Open, closed.
Brownie, are we anywhere close to a look at that moment, or no?
Possibly next week.
Oh, next week. Okay. I'm trying my best. And here we go. This now. Can anyone explain what this part of this set is? Why is this massive hole?
It looks good.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And why does it
Convenient
have
to
a
the plot.
trampoline at the bottom that saves Darth Maul?
Mm.
I think it's slightly to parallel, as the preceding fight was, I think it's slightly to parallel the fight scene on Bespin. But on Bespin, it makes sense because it's a city floating in the sky. And so any hole is, by definition, almost infinite enough to accommodate Liam Neeson.
Yes.
Whereas this planet is not notably floating in the sky. So you really have to headcanon the reason for it. Is it an exhaust port of some kind? Is it geothermal? But then if it is, why aren't they being baked alive? It's just, it's one of the many reasons that the basic physical design of these sets does not make as much sense as the OT does. Well, yeah, but what does that mean? That's a name. It's a noun. That's not a purpose.
Oh, he's getting all fired up here. It's
No. I'm not trying to ridicule.
I
the
want
point
you
at all,
to.
It's one. Well, I could feign being annoyed if I want to, but no, because it's. I think that probably is the name that was given to it. It's just that again, it doesn't make any real sense within the context of the set.
Just
Whereas almost everything in the OT makes a huge amount of sense, practically speaking. This just looks good. It vaguely resembles something that happened before, and that's why George did it. And it's a bit lazy compared to stuff that actually does make sense.
Here you go, Jim D. It makes no sense to have a bunch of choppy, crushy things in the middle of a hallway. I shouldn't have to do it this episode.
Yeah, I mean, you basically, as a general rule, the more times you have to have recourse to headcanon to explain the mechanics of a given scene, the worse that scene happens to be. Now, you can headcanon any number of reasons all of this stuff exists. The laser gates could be radiation gates, for example. The core could be exhaust, it could be a reactor core, whatever the hell that means. Like, you can headcanon all of these things, but you are relying on the audience at that point just to create a reason for all of this to exist, as opposed to it naturally existing within the world that's being depicted, as most things in the OT did. And that's disappointing. I mean, it looks amazing, but it's just not as well thought through as the old stuff was.
Here you go, folks. The Lord has spoken.
The Lord has spoken. Bow down, peasants. Can we get a little bit of Z on this one, please, if you would, please, Z?
Of course. T-Gun in the chat says, Liam, you touch my tra-la-la, my ding-ding-dong.
Well, look who's here, everybody.
Oh, bring him back. Sorry.
Oh,
I was sorry.
yeah.
All right. It's okay. We'll edit that.
He's
bit out, don't
disappeared.
worry.
Here you go.
Someone accidentally blocked him.
There's listening fat.
Hello.
The listening fat.
Ah, man of few words.
Yes.
When he speaks,
Yo.
we listen.
So Ewan skidded to a halt just in time.
Is there, in the true spirit of the Obi-Wan TV series, is there just beyond the edge of the screen here a place where Obi-Wan can walk around the barrier?
God, that was shit.
Yes, that was a moment
Can
in
you-
the cringe wars.
Can you believe that was a
happening.
year ago? Can you believe it?
Really?
Yeah, a year
God.
ago.
Could I get Brian to do this in? I'm going to challenge you, Brian, because I think you've had it easy tonight. Can you do this, Brian, in your best Portuguese gangster accent?
What the fuck is through your head to come up with stuff like that?
when you're ready, Brian.
Coincidentally, Liam's cock is nicknamed the Glistening Fat.
It's not bad. He never lets us down, folks. There we go. The glistening fat.
Get on with it.
Oh god, the in jokes in here is a mind fuck.
I just googled it as well. Do you know what the Portuguese word for gangster is?
Gangster.
Gangster. So it's basically the same.
Gungangster.
Gunganster, yes.
Well, look, it's getting exciting here. It's not just because we've got a man with a massive dong and also
Flashing
a massive
lights.
hole, but yeah, it's
Who's got the longest, darkest shaft out of these two?
I have it on good authority. If Liam Neeson had got his out, it would have reached the bottom of that hole, and he would have survived. He could have pole vaulted across the bottomless pit using his massive dong.
Just unraveled it like a fire hose all the way down.
Yeah.
And we're seeing the size difference here, aren't we, between Maul and Liam Neeson? Because Liam Neeson is a big chap, isn't he? He's a good, what is he? A good 6'3"?
It is, although Maul there is lunging.
He is
so
lunging,
he is
I know.
slightly shorter than normal.
Yeah, but Ray Park's only a modest kind of 5'8", 5'9", is he? And Liam Neeson is a good 6'3", 6'4", so yeah. But
It's not the size that matters.
well, when you've got a shaft as long as Neeson. Go on, Brownie.
Is Liam Neeson's penis longer than Ray Park's is tall?
Possibly. Certainly the girth. Common people for £5. That's real money, everybody. My dad was a man of few words. He used to say to me, son.
We'll never know.
I think that's Mike and the Mechanics, I think.
Oh, what a reference. Brownie, stay right there because Hostman is...
the bank of Hostman soccer
real,
cheese for
it's appreciated.
$5. Yeah, according to Wikipedia, the giant pit is a reactor shaft. Of course, it can fit in Liam's shaft. Barely.
But things go into reactor shafts. So, like a cooling rod or a giant penis will go into a reactor shaft. But they don't just sit there waiting for villains to be kicked into. And also, what kind of reactor are we talking about? Because if it's nuclear, then they're basically being irradiated to fuck, and they're dead anyway. And I don't know how Obi-Wan survives as long as he does in the OT. So, again, it's a noun more than an explanation, I think.
Drink, everybody, change of hairstyle.
Drink for
he looks like Action Man now.
Action Man.
Yeah, I don't even want to hazard a guess at what that expression could mean, and yeah, in a different movie. But hey, back to Qui-Gon.
Oh, look at that!
He looks. Hey, there's one from the heart, folks.
Look at that!
Decent bit of acting there.
Drink, everybody. That is acting, everybody.
We couldn't
Suck
get
it in.
Couldn't get a
Soak
give
that in, boys and girls.
Give it one out of her, but we could. We can get a look at that.
Look at that.
It's better in motion as well, because what he's doing there is he went in to attack, as I recall, and what he's doing there is ducking back slightly because he can't quite figure out what Maul's movements are, and that's actually set up to what Maul does later on, which again Qui-Gon can't predict, which is his dark underhand technique of bumping him in the chin with his sword. Liam Neeson doesn't really know what Maul's fighting style is in this scene. And so if you watch that in motion as opposed to in a still, he goes in and then he recoils out. We've captured the recoil moment, but it's quite a clever little bit of a sort of choreography there, I think.
I tell you what, Park might not be a renowned thespian actor, but bloody hell, he does a good job with his face in this movie.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah, he really does a good shout, Swappers. I feel this super
Go
chat
on,
from
Ruin.
Common People it can only be done by Z3PO. I can only imagine in his voice, if you would, Z.
Common People for £5 British, which is
Good
real
money.
money, don't
Yep.
you know? As my old dad used to say, you get the jam and I'll ring the vicar.
That's the most British super chat we've ever had on the Brown Alliance. Well done, Common People. Very good.
And because it's real money, he is right.
Well, don't start instigate one of those wars, Brown. You might end up with £300 in your arse pocket again. Yeah, brilliant from Maul. And there we go.
Look at that.
Oh, hey, look at that within 2 minutes. The listening fat, he's a man of few words. We know he is, but when he speaks, we all listen. And what he says is Reva stronger than Qui-Gon?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, because she got a saber through the abdominals twice, and she survived.
Wow.
Whereas
What a
Liam
look.
Neeson
It was-
dies after one. He's a
Yeah.
pussy compared to Reva.
What a load of old bollocks.
His last words on this were, I wish I'd taught Obi-Wan force healing.
But she doesn't even use force healing, does she? She just survives. She
she's
tanks a
she's
shot
just
through
angry,
the stomach.
isn't she? Yeah, her
Oh,
anger.
I was
kind of
referring to
sustains
Ray.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Ray, yeah, definitely.
Drink
but
everybody
Qui-Gon,
out of
Qui-Gon comes
anger.
back at the end of the Kenobi series, and my first question, as if I were Qui-Gon coming back at the end of that show, my first question is something like, wait a minute, why the hell am I dead and she's still alive? How is that a thing? That's not fair.
What a dog shit.
We are generally a channel for middle-aged men, and if we allow females in, it's by application only. And but now and then we do allow them on, and we have Amelia Bedelia, who's, I believe, I've not seen Amelia before, so hello to Amelia. And she says, "Arse pocket." Is that
Anus.
It's anus, Amelia. That's what we mean when we say arse pocket. So hope you enjoyed that clarification, and we hope
Another
to see
super
more
chat.
contributions from Amelia Bedelia. Super chat, Brownie. You pick. You pick. Here's a challenge for you, Brownie. Pick your second favorite retrobait to read this one out.
Who's second favourite?
Anyone apart from Lost Chord, that's what he's trying to say.
Go on, Ruin, you do it.
I didn't think I was that high up. I'm honoured. Common People says, in my best Nigerian accent, last one maybe. As my old dad used to say, that's not your sister.
Shit.
What? Is that not? Have I got the wrong consonant? I don't know.
It just morphed into several.
I think
not entirely
planet,
sure. We've
planet
got the
rather
same
than continent.
planet, Yes.
It's incontinent.
I did my best, Brown. You know.
That's all that one could ever ask, that you
I
do
did
your
my
best. Yeah.
Yeah. I give it my best shot.
Here you go.
Is it?
I can't say this. Gungang Indian.
Gungan Indian.
Oh, this was good. This was good.
Yeah. I'm getting some stick in the chat, but I know it's all in good faith. Is this the moment? Is this the moment we've been waiting for? Is Qui-Gon
Yeah.
going to get separated from his donga here?
I just love it how he kind of butts him in the face, doesn't he? With the saber.
Yeah, it's a bit of a moment for Maul, isn't it? Because it's a straight fight, it's a fair fight, and he bested Obi-Wan. And
Yeah, you go. Look, you go. Big Sonny and Co. The tap. Yeah, the tap. Oof,
Yeah.
have that, son.
Punch to the face.
Yeah.
yeah, there we go. Now, if you've ever experienced the Qui-Gon Liam Neeson donga, you'll have seen that expression before. But yeah, nice shot of Maul's head as well. Can anyone recall? We got going back many years, but anyone's shock, surprise when Qui-Gon was dispatched? Brian? No.
No,
Swappers?
I'd read it. I just cut
No,
the script,
no.
the full script, about 3 days before credits.
I bought the soundtrack CD to the movie, and it was in the track listing on the back.
Oh, that's right.
Oh,
Yeah, but you knew
no.
already what was happening anyway.
Well, partially.
Swappers, can we get you to read this super chat from our favourite cat in the chat, Larry?
Larry, for $5 American.
TLP as Palpatine. That's going to leave a mark.
Oh, yeah, unless you're Reaver, of course. But sadly,
that picture back then, that frame back then, just when you said, like, you did say nice shot of Maul's head, and I thought you meant, never mind. Anyway, move on.
I think the Lord has gone critical mass.
Oh no, we've lost him. Oh, he'll find his way back. Don't worry.
Like Obi-Wan's just walked in on them.
No.
Oh, yeah. It's and there it is. We can see the
He's
the
just
double
pulling
ender.
out, as he
Oh,
walked in.
God. Oh, man, well, I didn't have this spoiled for me, and I was quite shocked. I thought Qui-Gon was going to be a mainstay for the trilogy, but no, he was
Subversive.
dispatched. Oh, sad. Oh, and what? How do we rate his death scene, Liam Neeson?
1.
Give him 1, folks. Well, yeah, we're not going to take one.
The Lord's back, everybody.
He's back. Everything okay, Chordy?
That accent was so bad, I had a power cut.
I won't
Did your
do it
reactor
again.
shaft give way?
Literally everything turned off. Lights were off. Everything was off. Power cut. Full on power cut. There's still alarms going off all down the street. It's lovely.
Wow.
Oh, wow. Well, we're glad you're back. You've just missed
the death. Yeah.
You've missed the moment we've been building up to for the last 17
Should we go
weeks.
back a couple slides?
Is this
Let's
the
go
Innocence
back.
cum face, though? Is that
Yeah, let's go back and show him it. Oh,
there it is. Yep.
oh, there we go. Boom, bosh, biff, ouch, oof. There you go. We have a request from Hostman Socrates for not Brian as Jar Jar. If you would, please, Brian.
Bloody Jar Jar. Can Swappers not do this one? All right, he's paid his $5.
He's paid his money.
Husband Socrates in the chat says, not Brian as Jar Jar.
Come on, Qui-Gon. If the right female clown person can survive a lightsaber, do it again. You can.
Don't ever ask me to do that again.
I could have done it.
Very good, very good.
Just putting it out there, man, babies. I'm available for the pseudo Indian Gungan accent if it's ever needed again. So just putting that out there.
How
Anyway,
could anybody at Disney possibly think putting a lightsaber through Reva twice, she would survive?
That's bad enough.
Oh,
that is bad enough, but it's all the army of half-witted fans who go along with it and defend this absolute
yeah, all the
nonsense.
stands, yeah.
It's the hate that's keeping them going. Fuck no.
Did they turn to the dark side?
Well, no, because that is the irony of their position, which is that they claim to be standing against people who hate on diverse actors or whatever, but the only reason these people exist online is because they have found someone that they can oppose. They are literally motivated by the same thing they claim motivates other people. There's a Reddit thread called, or Reddit subreddit called Saltier Than Crate.
Yeah, I'm a member of it. Yes.
Are you really? Because
it
seems to. I've only spent a bit of time on there because they didn't like the fact that I called everyone who liked Avatar deficient.
That's me then.
So they moaned about that. So I went through Saltier Than Crate. And it just, these are people who claim to be standing against hatred in fandom, and yet their entire shtick is railing against people who don't like what they like. And most Disney Star Wars fans, in my experience, tend to be that kind of thing. They don't really like the franchise, but they do like the fact that there's a culture war to be had and there's an opponent they can sort of weigh against. And it's
Lord, while you're on your feet, are you available, please?
I
As
suppose I can.
Palpatine,
As
Lordy.
Palpatine. Oh shit. Okay.
Oh.
Larry for $5 as Palpatine. Can I do Palpatine?
Yeah,
God, just
Uh,
don't
for
think-
Larry, you can. For Larry.
I'm just trying to figure out how that works. That's going to leave a mark. No, shit,
It's
that's a
not
pirate.
bad.
That's a pirate.
It's actually not
Yeah,
bad,
it's all right
that,
then,
Lordy,
yeah.
Yeah, I was expecting a full-on car crash, but you did okay. And that's it. That's Obi-Wan gone. And
No, it isn't.
Who?
No, it isn't.
sorry, it's Qui-Gon gone. Okay, it's
So
Qui-Gon.
you're
bear,
subverting us again, aren't
bear
you?
with me, man, babies. I'm half a bottle of Captain Morgan's into this. We have 182 man babies, Brownie, on the
get in.
stream. Yeah,
Mm.
it's yeah.
Cheers, everybody. Take a drink.
Quick piece of
Bizarrely,
trivia for you.
Oh, please, Brian. Yeah.
In the film Hot Fuzz, Simon Pegg's policeman character has a fake death scene, and he pays a little homage to Qui-Gon's death here by falling down in dramatic fashion, exactly the same way as Liam Neeson does in this.
There we
Grateful
go.
for us.
You don't get that on Doomcock on a Saturday night, man, babies. That's why you're all here, for the Liam Neeson dong jokes, the accents, and just the general obnoxiousness from the retrobates. But we do it for your listening pleasure, and now it's all down to Obi-Wan to take on Maul.
Here you go, folks. Tim's talk. Hello, Tim A. Part 7. Stretch it. It's looking that way.
No,
So
we can
Jesus.
finish
No.
it tonight.
No.
No,
Mm,
we're
you
wrapping this
sure?
shit up, Brown.
Oh,
There's plenty of
God.
Qui-Gon puns coming in through the chat, though.
Speed
Oh,
up,
well,
Ruin.
let's roll it. Roll the Qui-Gon puns. Franco says, oh God, the chat's on fire. I can barely keep up. Franco says, Qui-Gon gone. Black lives or black votes. Sorry, votes. Black vote says Qui-Gon with the wind. What else did you see, Chordy? Any of the good ones?
There's a few. Oh, I have to scroll up through the chat because I spotted a few
Yeah.
higher up the chat. Qui-Gon
No
too
one's
soon.
No one's ever really Qui-Gon.
Qui-Gon.
Very good.
Qui-Gon.
Very good.
Qui-Gon, but not forgot. Yeah.
Qui-Gon with the wind.
Yeah.
Uh,
Tell you what. We know who's sober in the chat and who isn't, don't we? Smilek says,
Qui-Gon
black
give you
pearls
up.
matter. Mr. Brown, do you want to break it to the chat, or shall I, about the number of slides remaining?
I seriously think there's going to be week 7.
No, sorry, we can
can't.
finish this. We can
They
do
can't
it.
be.
Keep going. Go through them.
Ruin,
Is
just
there-
speed up for.
The longer you spend
sake.
complaining about how many slides there are left, the more slides there are going to be left.
Hang on, we're just going to do, just while we watch the corpse of Qui-Gon, we're going to do a few more Qui-Gon puns.
There's a good one by
Takes
Best
so
Step.
long.
Qui-Gon in 60 inches. Come on. What's
Oh,
okay?
the
Okay.
problem
good
is we
one
can't
by-
do.
Thanks.
Ruin,
Thanks,
there's a
Tim.
good one by Bestest Ever, just slightly scrolled up a little bit.
Okay, can you get it? Can anyone find it? The chat's on fire.
Yeah, we can't do week 7 because half of the panel will be on vacation.
Can you find it, Swappers?
Who's
or
it
can you-
from?
I've
Oh, here
got
we
it.
go. I got it. No, I
Go
got
on,
it.
Brian.
Best Test Devo in the chat says Qui-Gon gets impaled. How ironic.
Oh, indeed. Good work.
You could save others from Girth.
Hail Scotty, R37.
Drink, everybody. Change of hair.
This
And
looks like
weight.
me
He's lost
in the
weight as well.
in the kebab shop after I've had my fill of Captain Morgan's in the gay village in Manchester, and I'm just staggering my way home, and there I am, just staring at the kebab, thinking, I know what this is going to do to my guts, but I need it.
Looks more like after you've had the kebab to me, and you're just wondering where the nearest toilet is.
Every man who's been pissed in Britain has had that look.
Oh,
When
we've
the-
all been there. We've all stared that intently at a
Done a
rotating
kebab.
kebab. Oh,
Done
This
a
yes.
is when the
kebab,
room
sir.
starts. This is when the room starts spinning, isn't it? At this moment,
Yeah.
when you look like this. Yeah.
Do our American friends know the joys of a
Yeah, they
rotten
have
kebab?
kebabs. Yeah,
Yeah, they have kebabs.
yeah, I'm sure
okay.
they do. Yeah.
My local town, Bedford, recently, recently was closed down for a health violation a year after it opened, but a year ago opened a £1 kebab
You told
shop.
us this story
Yeah.
before. Yeah.
And it closed very, very quickly. I never had one, but I have recently since that point, met someone who did have one, and he did have the shits for several days.
Oh,
So
great
if
kebab.
you are
Days.
paying £1 for a bundle of meat in a bat,
Wow.
you are not getting good meat there. That's not good food.
Do you like good meat?
I do
Oh,
like good meat. Yes, you're absolutely right. I learned it from Qui-Gon. He was my master before Obi-Wan.
Before this devolves into gay puns, we're back to the CGI
Galactic
Windows 97
Empire, everybody.
desktop, and
Oh,
just when it was getting good. Does anyone give a shit about this battle between the droids and the Gungans? I mean, I just want
I
them
like
all
this
to-
bit because the Gungans are all being rounded up, presumably to be exported to death camps, and I like that very much. It's just a shame they never get there.
Oh, it's like if there's a war between the traveling community and the Islamic extremists. You just want them all to kill each other, don't you? It's the only way I can sum this one up, Brownie. But
Dear God, that's dark.
the triangle's going back.
homosexual
upwards.
content warning. just offended both communities at once.
Stop spoiling yourself.
Anyway, look, let's settle down and enjoy a little bit
Swappers.
of Gungan from Mr. Brown.
Not giving up, General Jaja.
What do you make of that, Swappers? What score would you give him, Swappers?
Give him one.
He give you one, Brown.
That was
Oh,
more
wasn't too bad.
Nigerian than your actual Nigerian, though.
Moving on.
Oh God, these are pathetic.
Hands
Useless
up. Man, give up. Move on.
We're moving on. We're back to the palace. There we go. Back to the palace. Well, look, it's not looking.
again.
It's not looking good for the good guys, is it? Because they all seem to be captured at this point. Anyone still remotely sober? Brian, can you talk us through this scene?
I was typing to someone in the chat. This is them walking to. They've been captured, but they're about to turn the tables just shortly. But I don't want to spoil it, shall we? After 24
spoiler
years,
alert.
let's go to the next one. You'll see.
Okay, let's go to the next one.
Oh, we forgot to say spoilers, didn't we? Sorry, folks.
Let's see. Swappers, we've not had you for a while. Swappers, can you do your best authentic impression for this character, if you would, please?
I can't remember what he sounds. All right, okay. Your little interaction is at an end, Your Highness.
No, it's not bad, Swappers.
good.
It's not bad. Yeah, very good. Folks, hold on to your bollocks. We're into community theatre. And Z3, it's over to
Time
you.
for you to sign the treaty and end this pointless debate in the Senate.
Oh,
See, this is quality.
That was
Star
very good,
Wars.
except that you got the Senate bit wrong because he weirdly lingers on the second syllable, so it's Senate as opposed to Senate.
let's
Getting technical.
Viceroy.
Oh, go on, Brown. Just chip in when
This
you feel
is
like
Keira Knightley speaking,
Keira's-
by the
yeah.
way.
Brian.
Your occupation here has ended.
Oh, just Brownie gets so excited when we do this community theatre. He just
Roger,
takes
Roger.
over the whole thing.
I think Kira's actually overdubbed by illicit Padme.
Oh,
Ah.
What's her name?
After her.
Natalie Portman.
This one's
Natalie
a
Portman.
decoy.
One's a decoy.
I feel like the whole chat could go, all the retrobates on the panel would go, and Brownie would happily just do all the dialogue here just on his own, wouldn't he? It's just he loves this
Get
so
on with
much.
it.
Oh, we're trying,
Roger.
Brownie.
You're very trying, Roger.
But where did the secondary team come from? How were they not spotted coming through the palace? Did they walk all the way up, even though the reason that the main team went up via their little zipline things is that they didn't have time to fight their way through. Yet this other team just appears outside the door when it's convenient. I don't really think that makes a huge amount of sense.
Can you read this for me, please, Z?
Oh, my plums hurt.
We all do.
Is he still with us?
He's
Or is he
muted.
powered down?
Uma Plumsert in the chat says, I need bum ointment after sitting through this movie for 6 weeks. Or you need to get one of these comfy thrones which are full of guns.
Question for the chat. The button's being pressed, but what does it do?
You don't need to know. Just press buttons. It opens the door, doesn't it?
No,
Wow.
it opens the side of the throne, which is packed full of blasters. Unusual design, but it came in handy.
There we go. Amber's all over it.
Oh, it's such a load of shit. So funny.
You're manifesting your inner mega geek.
Captain.
It was kind of strange that she throws one at Panaka first instead of taking the droid out right away.
Because there's droids all around them and they just don't react at all. They just stand there waiting to get shot. It's yeah.
Like the guards in Last Jedi when Snoke gets taken down. Take about half an hour to move.
Was that like when Han Solo threw a detonator to somebody in Return of the Jedi?
No.
Oh.
Atom Gray in the chat says they're calling Lobot, which is interesting. Darth Lord Sith Chord.
Yes.
If I may, how sexy is Lobot?
Is Lobot Lando's robot assistant?
No, he's the. Oh, yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
Who were you thinking of?
I was thinking of Probot.
Who's Probot?
Prolapse Imperial
Lobot.
probe droid.
Oh, this is all very phallic, isn't it?
Oh God. Yeah, but anyway, back to Lobot. He's sexy. He's got that kind of. No, Brown. This is important. We need to nail this one. Is Lobot sexy? The
Old
chat wants
bald
to know.
cyborg.
He's sexy and he knows it.
It's not my type, I'll have to say. But...
Brian, Lobot sexy?
Yes, I'm going to say yes. We've got the Bruce Willis type of right side Fred appeal, I would say.
He's got a kind of quiet dominance. Z he's got some android shit going on. What do you think? Lobot sexy?
No, he's only part bot.
Oh.
He's a trans bot.
Oh God!
Oh, the Brownie's suddenly
He
got
identifies
into
as a bot, but is in fact a human.
cold sweat. Never thought we'd be discussing the sexiness of Lobot at this point in the Phantom Menace, but there we go. You never know what you're going to get.
Look at that!
Oh, it's not a Brown look at that, so it's not we can't register it on the look at that scale. But
I just think the robots just don't look dangerous, so it kind of takes you out of it a bit.
Brownie, could you read this from Jaden Smith Eyes?
Jaden Smith Eyes in the chat. I like it when my partners have no functional brain and just stare at me with dead eyes. I'd give Lobot 1.
Oh, we love it. Thank you, Jaden.
Super chat, mate.
There is a super chat, and it's
Do it?
probably. I think this is one for swappers. Any requests from swappers from the retrobates, my fellow retrobates? We know he's quite handy with the accents.
Well,
Obviously
this one
not.
looks like it's for Platoon.
But I can't do a Samuel L. Jackson voice. My Samuel L. Jackson voice is adding the word motherfucker at the end of any quote. So
I know who could do a
it's
Samuel L.
Plut's.
Jackson voice.
Go on then.
Oh, come on.
Brown. He did it
Go
a
on,
few
Brown.
weeks ago.
So what are we doing then?
Houseman, I know you wanted Plutz, but you'll forgive us if
Okay,
Brownie. Come on, Brownie. Come on.
So what am I doing?
You're doing
Okay, Bank of Hostman sock cheese for $5 US. How did no one think of this one?
It's gone early.
Plutz in his best Samuel L. Jackson voice, man. We've gone for a pack of cigarettes and never came back, man. Irie.
Oh yeah, you've
Bomber
read part of
clots.
the You've not read the script. You've read part of the notes on the script, but like, don't worry, Brown. You give it your best. It's we
Sorry.
appreciate it. We'll get Plutz to do the next one.
Sorry. Look, Willie. Sorry, friend. Sorry. Willie or won't he? Outraged.
No, we like Willie, won't he?
All right.
I feel as though the only thing that can get us back on track is a bit more community
By moving
theatre.
on.
So, Swappers, can we go with you, please, to get us kicked off in the community theatre?
All right, who's saying what here?
Padme's line.
Now, Viceroy, we will discuss a new treaty.
That sounds exactly like your Anakin voice.
I didn't say it was going to sound like her. That's all.
Yeah, in the community theatre. It goes just a brief. So we're back.
Drink, everybody. Change of hair, and he's put weight back on.
No. Anyway, he's had his kebab, obviously.
Oh,
Maul's great, isn't he?
look at that.
We didn't get enough Maul. That's
Just look at that.
R2 thinks we're going to week 7.
I do. Seriously, we are.
How?
We will be fine.
No, we won't. It's 7 weeks. I think we're coming back in 3 weeks, everybody.
Oh, good
You're
God.
just so fucking slow.
What do you mean? It's we have to give it its due deference. What do
There's slow, and then there's ruined slow.
If we were overrunning and testing people's patience, you wouldn't have almost 200 people still in the chat. We're doing fine.
Because you've got nothing else better to do.
So
How dare
therefore, you're
you.
giving them content to while away their worthless lives with. So you're
Don't
performing in
talk like that.
service.
Hey, listen, talk about your chat like that on your channel, not on here.
No, because you said they've got nothing better to do, and I'm saying
Yeah,
I'm playing off
as I
of
said,
what
that's
you
my
said.
job, not yours.
Okay.
They're completely starved of shambolic sci-fi movie commentary. That's all.
Well, I'm entertained, so I'm
Yes.
assuming they're also entertained, and that's why they're still here. So
Chat,
I'm
are you
fine.
entertained?
Yes, Tim Hannabon
Yes or no?
says Ruin, don't listen. I won't, Tim. Thank you. Brownie, look, when you hired me, you knew what you were getting. I did that incredibly slow space chase in The Last Jedi, so you know the pace I
15
work
years
at.
to get his next trilogy, so you can't expect this to happen quickly.
I think the chat are saying yes, they are. Yeah, okay.
They're entertained.
Chat, you're gluttons for punishment. Thank you.
Anyway, I'll not that quickly, not that quickly. Because look, we've got some action here.
Look at that.
Oh, there's Brownie's getting his pants off.
I love this bit. I think it's so well choreographed and it's so fast. I think they had to possibly slow it down a little bit. I love the aggressive way that he comes barging out of the door, and even down to the last bit of the fight when he starts to get tired, Obi-Wan, and does that kind of the sound of the lightsaber. He does that lazy swipe just before he gets twatted down the fucking actor shaft.
The punchable face, referring to Liam Neeson's massive dong, says the length is part of the fun. There we go. Yeah,
I did wonder with this. I did wonder whether there was an idea here that was in the script for a bit, but never really got fulfilled. Which is that Obi-Wan is probably here tapping into the dark side. Is he not? He's tapping into his anger and his grief, and that's what really empowers him to take on Maul and to beat Maul in the end. But it doesn't really go anywhere because they never really address it later on. So I wondered whether or not there was a plan to do that originally, and it just never made it into the script.
There was a fan theory that there was a kind of aggressive flaw in the training line, all the way legacy from all the way from Dooku to Qui-Gon to Kenobi, and then down to I quite like that, down to Anakin. Certainly, the way he comes out there, all guns blazing, he's looking for revenge at that point.
Yeah, it's bearing in mind Ray Park is a trained martial artist, does Ewan do a reasonably good job in
yeah, absolutely.
Well, you can tell there was hours and hours of training.
Incredible.
Oof, I can't even see what this is. Just a clash of sabers, is it? That's what we're looking at here. Yeah.
That's when he cuts the blade in half.
Oh wow.
It is also good going back to the hours of training thing. It's one of the more impressive things to have come out of, say, Revenge of the Sith, is that they're not using stunt doubles. Most of the lead actors are not stunt doubles throughout this. So Hayden Christensen, Ewan McGregor both learn how to do all of these moves themselves. And the amount of time, practice, training that must take is very, very impressive. And it kind of gives you a slightly more favorable look on, say, Hayden Christensen, who's not a good actor, but you see him doing this stuff and you think how long that took to learn. That's quite impressive.
How many hours do you think Reva put in?
About 5 at most.
Like a morning.
Well, she doesn't do
obviously.
much lightsaber fighting.
Sorry, when you go.
No. Sorry, I was just saying she doesn't really do very much lightsaber fighting, does she, Reva? She just swings it like a baseball bat, like everybody else in that show.
I was going to say Liam Neeson obviously had a bit of swordsmanship from Rob Roy. I can't quite remember if he did it in Excalibur or not. Possibly. 1980.
Oh, you're taking us back there, Brian. But yeah, so he's down to, well, half a lightsaber. Well, half of his lightsaber is like a normal lightsaber, isn't it? So, but it's not over. It's a good, in terms of we ripped on the battle, the Gungan battle earlier, but in terms of lightsaber duels, where does this one rank? How's everyone put this? I mean,
the thing about this film is when it's good, it's good.
Mm.
But it's just not enough of it being good.
In terms of lightsaber battles, I would say it's the best. And it's very, very close with Revenge of the Sith. I mean, that's purely down to the technique. I don't mean the stakes involved. I think the best one overall to me is still Empire Strikes Back. But in terms of the technique and not so much the story, although the Duel of the Fates thing does basically hinge. Anakin's future hinges on whether or not Qui-Gon survives.
Technique-wise, this one sits right at the midpoint between the prequel style and the OT style. So this one is not as flamboyant as the rest of the prequels turn out to be, but it's also not as mundane and physical as the OT was. I quite like the fact that it sits in the middle of those. I think Revenge of the Sith, it's visually stunning, but I think it does lapse into the absurd at certain points. You can find your way around that by saying, well, these two have trained together for so many years, so they are having to go all out to try and get some sort of technique in that they don't anticipate. But I think this one particularly works. Also, it works because at this point, the soundtrack basically disappears. So they recognize the severity and the seriousness of the duel. So John Williams just brings everything right down. All of the Duel of the Fates thing that comes before just disappears. Everything is very quiet and silent, focusing on this precise moment. And it's this moment when he uses Force Push that the soundtrack finally comes in again. But until then, from the moment Obi-Wan goes in through the laser gate to this precise moment, the soundtrack is virtually not there, and it allows you to really properly appreciate how much is at stake. So it's more emotional for the fact that it's more silent, and it's not so flamboyant that you get distracted by its balletic quality. So I think this one, I would say this one probably is one of the stronger, if not the strongest ones. It's certainly at the top sort of 2 or 3.
The lightsabers themselves, similar to Empire Strikes Back, almost provide their own little soundtrack.
Yeah.
Thanks, Franco. Stay focused on the important topics. Well, look, he's about to tumble down the massive hole here, isn't he? And we mentioned it in the commentary there. It's the Force Push that does it for him, isn't it? I believe.
Yeah.
And yeah. Oh, nice squeak there, Brownie.
Sorry, it's my back.
Well, it's looking perilous for Obi-Wan. He looks like he's been defeated, much like Qui-Gon, and Maul is, all he needs to do is just whip his fingers off and he's done.
It's over. Sorry.
Are you gagging on Uncle Owen again?
Let me try that again.
I thought you were doing a voice.
I was.
Oh.
It was. It's over, Obi-Wan. I have the high ground.
Hey, see if you look at his belt here. This is quite the kind of
Oh, yeah.
humorous. It's the introduction of the cover tech clip for the lightsaber they've introduced in the prequels. You used to be able to buy them separately. Yep, and all the props fit in them. I think they're for mobile phones or the pagers
Oh.
back in the day.
Wow, taking us back there, Brian. Oh, a bit quick there. So this is Obi-Wan's, isn't it?
You've skipped a bit there.
Oh, really?
Go back.
There we go. Yeah.
Honestly,
Obi-Wan's.
he says you're taking too long, and then he
Oh, I
criticizes
thought
you
you-
for
I
skipping.
I
sorry.
know. Thank you, Geordie. I know. You go too slow. You go too fast. It's
Genuinely don't think we're going to finish this tonight.
Brownie.
In fact, I know we're not.
we're
What's
going
going
to
on with
finish
what's
this.
going on with the end of Qui-Gon's lightsaber here? Because it's Obi-Wan's, isn't it? It's like it's got like a plate over the end of it. How does the lightsaber come out of the blade? The blade come out the end of the hilt. I don't understand. What's going on there? You have to probably zoom in on it, but
Well, I
Yeah,
don't
it's
know,
not.
Steve.
It's just like a dot. They've got. It's a kind of strange thing they did for the prequels.
So it's not looking good for Obi-Wan here, is it? He's clinging on a bit like Lando in the Pit of Cor. What's it called?
Carfoon.
What?
I've had a few drinks, man. Babies, I want to stuff that pronunciation up.
Bit of
The,
carcoon.
Thank you, Brian. Thank you for rescuing me.
Super chat.
Common people. Go on, Brown.
Common people for £5. That's real money, folks. I used to have a belt like that. Then my mum got a job.
Oh, well, that sounds almost comedy tragedy. I don't know, common people. I hope it all worked out for you and your mum. Anyway, we've got a Palpatine-esque endless pit, haven't we? Oh no, we got a siphon. We got a Mega Geek style siphon brownie there. Bit of a trope for you,
It's just
Brownie?
like kind of doing what George already knows and what he did in the whatever film. Oh, that look all right. Stick it in, boys.
Oh.
It'll be right. Nobody notice.
Now, what have we shifted to here? Is
This
this
is Anakin in the
Anakin?
cockpit of the M1. He's been sitting there for the last 2.5 hours since we last left him, even. So he's now got power back on the M1 Starfighter, and he's prepared to blow up the droid control ship.
Conveniently had to wait 50 minutes for it to cool down.
Or on this stream, 2 hours.
Brownie, hold the press because you've got some serious real money from Nikki Relihan?
Relihan, yes,
Relihan.
20
Ooh.
English pounds. That is definitely real money. Sorry
Ooh.
I couldn't attend. Here's a small something from me. Oh,
There you go. Is that going towards the cat's growth, Brown?
possibly not.
Oh, this is we're seeing the origins of Brown's villain backstory here. Anyway, very generous. Thank you, Nikki, and apology accepted, General Nida. Sorry, swappers.
Captain Nida.
Captain. I promoted him. We're back to this little shit. What's he doing now?
Go on,
Shields up.
Swappers, do the voice.
Shields up.
He's getting.
Oh,
is he,
Christ.
It's just when you're enjoying something, old George has to throw in a load of old shit, doesn't he?
There's just no weight to the robots. They just look so spindly and flimsy. They just.
You mean easy to animate?
No, they just don't look like there's any menace with them. No pun intended. They're just shite.
Yeah, I think.
Can you imagine putting stormtroopers there? You think, oh, okay, but look at them.
They were just never made threatening from any point,
Yeah,
were they, in the whole
if
movie?
you look at the heads, they look like kind of sock puppets
Oh.
with two little button eyes.
Part of the design's actually taken from the original Stormtrooper helmet. That was the part of the inspiration. Believe it or not. But I don't know. It's not. I don't think it's so much the design. I think it's more to do with how they're used. You know, if you'd seen them slaughtering people at the very start or something, then you're straight away you think they're a credible threat. But they're just used as cannon fodder from the off, and that's the problem that we talked about last week.
It's how the Stormtroopers are introduced in A New Hope, is that before you even really see them in action, you're told how good they are. So when Obi-Wan takes Luke to the Sandcrawler wreckage, and he says that the blaster boys are too accurate for sand people, and they obviously burn down Luke's homestead. So you know that Stormtroopers are supposed to be a threat. They are a menacing police force, whereas the battle droids are comic relief from the beginning. So there's no real stakes in any scene in which they're involved.
Someone, sorry, Bran. I know you're getting tetchy about me going backwards, but someone made a really good point. Is that Jake Lloyd's thumb, or is that a hand actor? It was Jaden Smith Eyes who said it. It does look rather large for a small child's thumb, doesn't it? What do we think?
Yeah, that's not a child's thumb.
No, that's Liam Neeson's dong.
Yeah, there's a super chat.
Oh, hang on one moment. Hold the press, Brownie. Brownie, wait there.
Now, aren't they?
Wait there. I'm just unbuckling my pants. You take this bit.
Okay. Common. Who would like to read this in a voice? I think he deserves a decent voice.
He deserves the full works here.
Yeah.
What's the best we've got to offer?
I think it's going to be a Brian doing the best.
Yeah.
Go on, Brian. Go on, Brian. Best comedy voice.
How about Dexter?
Oh, yes.
Common people for Mother of God. 50 English pounds. And the chat says, the super duper chat challenge, or as my dad used to say, you clean up the baked beans, and I won't tell the doctor.
That's an adage for life, isn't it? Wow. Common people, incredible generosity.
I'm just blown away.
Yeah, and super chats aside, even the contributions have been fantastic tonight, and we do appreciate it. And old Brownie, and Brian with the production and all the other retrobates. It's so good to have the backing of you man babies. We appreciate it. We're on slide 99, Brown. How many's left?
100.
Oh no. How many are credits?
1.
Oh, what?
I told you.
How have you got 100 slides?
I don't know, because I'm not like
this is the
Brian.
end of the film. He blows it up.
Brownie,
the droid
I'm
shut
losing
down.
the will to live.
They go to prison. Palpatine arrives.
No, we're
That's the end
rushing
of the
now.
film.
We're rushing now.
But that's all there is left to talk
we're not
about.
Russian.
No, there isn't. There's still plenty more to go.
Okay, well, look, we're gonna strap yourselves in, man, baby. Strap on, strap up, whatever you want to do. We're gonna try and do this. I'm determined. I'm going on holiday.
There's another 1.5 hours here.
No, there isn't. We're gonna do this next 20 minutes, Brian. I tell you.
No, we're not, because then it's rushed compared to the rest.
Yeah, but Brown, the longer we go, the longer the super chats get.
Oh,
but we could come back and do the rest of it.
He's determined to string this out until Ahsoka, babies. I know what his plan is.
No. No. Because it looks very unprofessional, taking so long doing the others.
Just keep going.
Just going.
The rest of the stream has been so professional. Yeah.
We've spent 8 weeks trawling through the fandom Menace.
Well, then another 1 week won't matter. Just keep going at normal speed. We'll see where we get to.
If we don't finish this stream tonight, Brown, I'm going to kill a kitten.
Practical effects, by the way, everybody. Practical effects. Practical explosions.
There we go. Fiona knew we weren't going to finish it.
Yeah,
I've been saying we've
didn't.
finished this for 3 weeks. God damn it. Okay. Boom. Do you want to see that? There we go. There it is.
Yeah, because remember,
Boom.
he shot the kind of photon phaser or something, didn't he, out of the Starfighter?
Yes, he was shooting at the robots, and
Yeah,
two of
but
his
he took-
shots went rogue and hit the main reactor.
Amber slid away. He appreciates what you're trying to do, Brown.
No, it'd just be a disrespect to the other 17 hours we've done if we just blast through it in 10 minutes.
I don't know what
You
you've
could
got.
try blasting through it in
slides,
another
but-
hour and a half, Brown. Would that be
Oh God.
from a let's get moving aspect?
I'm all for finishing today, but just don't rush the final bit. Just
No, we're going at a nice pace. Anyway, look, we got to that point in the night.
to be a problem with the main reactor.
Doesn't even need to queue them up anymore. Go on, keep going then.
Nothing can get through our shield.
You've been practicing this, Brown. It's very good. We're back to Anakin. Oh,
And
I
we're
like
back to
this. I like this little bit where he takes a droid out just by fucking running him down. That was pretty cool. I don't care if you didn't like it. I liked it. Get out, you.
and this is 3 droids kind of running away. They do get engulfed, don't they, eventually?
Now, is that practical, that background? It looks practical to me.
Really?
It might have been a miniature.
A miniature practical. The fire, possibly, but the droids just look shite.
Request from Jaden Smith I says 7 weeks of nerd edging. Make sure to upload all these VODs to Pornhub as well.
Ah, yes, the
okay.
tantric menace.
Oh, there we go. So look at
I think this is a model with a little bit of yeah.
a little bit
It's
of
blowing up from the inside.
Oh, it is.
there we
Oh,
go.
just
Mm.
came too soon.
Oh, just
She's
clunky.
being
Someone
equal
says,
antiques.
well, we didn't hit it. And then someone says, look, one of ours out of the main hull. And then Anakin flies out and they go, woo.
Clunk.
Econ Antique Swappers.
Yes, indeed. I think she was.
yeah.
Common people. If that's
Nice
that's
one.
a wrestling reference, common people, I appreciate it. So I'm gonna doff my
Jeez.
wig to you, common people.
Yes, thing has got nothing on us.
Holy
But
crap.
maybe a musical
Out of
reference.
all
I'm
the
sure
times
it's not.
I've watched this film, I never realised that was Celia Imrie.
No.
Yeah, I picked up on it
There you
straight
go.
away when I saw it.
Here you go, folks. MJuke84. I think MJuke is trying to confuse us by changing currency from woke dollars to £2. That's real money, everybody. This is for another week of Brown's rank bigotry. BRB.
Fear the Hammers is loving it as well. He says, "This is great. No one is discussing older movies like
Oh.
this."
There's a reason
See?
for that.
And Smilex is saying EFAP would be in tier by now or in tier by now.
Cheers.
EFAP are good at doing 12. They would have done this in one stint, but we're old, apart from Lord, obviously.
We've got our bladders aren't that good, man, babies.
It's just a tribute
Okay.
to Liam Neeson's appendage, really, isn't it? This whole series.
Well, a few more explosions, and who's this old chap?
That's Rick Olay.
Oh, Rick Olay. Have you got a Rick Olay in your back arse pocket, Brian?
No, but he just says, we didn't hit it.
Oh, I don't know what he
Is
sounds
he not
like.
a British guy?
Is he?
Was he not in With Dale and I or something? This guy? Can't remember.
We should have got Lordy to do it with his fabulous Queen's English accent.
No, he's doing I think he's English, but
American
he's
in
doing
this.
He's doing an American accent, yeah.
Oh.
Here we go.
The meme. Yes, finally.
Remember the list.
Drink, everybody.
Swappers.
Swaps.
Lisp.
No, this is pod racing.
Oh, come on. Put some more oomph into it. Even Jake Lloyd puts more oomph into the line.
No, this is pod racing.
That was exactly the same, Swappers.
It's increased
But
volume.
louder.
Swappers.
Just
I just hit
louder.
the
Hang
gain
on.
on the mic.
What is the George
The
Lucas
emphasis- Sorry.
direction? What is it?
You have to
The
stress
emphasis-
this.
intense.
This is important.
Action.
This is the thing.
This and the pod is the two ones that are stress.
Yeah.
What, as George Lucas would say, faster, more intense. Go, Swappers. Go on.
Now this is pod racing.
That's better.
Yeah. Are we happy with that?
It'll do.
Oh, they're not sure.
Thanks,
Now
George.
this is pod racing.
That's what the emphasis is.
Yeah, man. Now this is pod racing, man. Irish. Sorry, folks.
Brownie, somehow 182 man babies
Just as I
are,
was saying it, that
are
flashed up.
lingering. Oh God, they know what we're
on.
going to do before we do it. It's
That role should have been given to Ahmed Best, shouldn't it? Really, for not being in costume for the whole film.
Does he not appear later?
Maybe.
He does. He appears
Whoa.
in one of the final scenes on the boom.
Whoa.
The celebration shot, which is just all kinds of.
Which will be
cringe.
next week, folks.
Anakin beat them to death with their own shoes.
Isn't the dialogue fantastic? Yeah.
Thanks, Amber. Explosions, bright lights.
We're fucked.
Brian, could you read this by? It's only a short one from Atom Gray, but can you do it in the style of Mega Geek, please?
Drink of a bit.
Shit.
Sorry, Ian, if you're listening.
Why am I wasting my time with this?
This makes no sense.
Oh, you should have just got him
Honestly.
to do all his sound bites and recorded them all and just press buttons whenever we had an appropriate scene come up.
Lord, question if I may.
Yes.
If you was to do a long form essay review type vid of this,
Yes.
how long would you think it would take for you to do? You know, Flash was nearly 3 hours.
Yeah. I don't know. Because it's an older film and it's not topical, I would almost want to go longer because there's more to be said because the entire thing is basically complete. So you can look forward into what comes next and you can make comparisons and you can draw in the ring theory stuff and you can do all of this. Yeah, I mean, I would want to give it the full 4 to 6 hour treatment, really. I don't think there'll be any point doing it without doing that because otherwise, what else are you really adding to the conversation? There's loads to be said about it and
I
the
think
ways in
it'd
which it does parallel with both A New Hope and also certain other entries into the OT. And then, of course, comparing it with the sequels to explain why it's even then bad as this is, it's better than those. There's loads of stuff to be said, hence us spending however many hours we've spent talking about it. But yeah, it would have to be a really long one, I think.
Do you know, I think it'd be genuinely interesting to hear you do a video essay of something you actually like.
Well, you say that, and occasionally people say that. No one actually watches things that you like.
Yeah, and that's the problem, though, isn't it?
Yeah, no one gives a shit. Movie Cynic
Yeah.
did one 2 days ago, praising the Spider-Verse thing, and I don't.
Nobody wants to know.
Yeah, no one cares.
I
I try and work in stuff I like in every video I do because I'm not looking for things I don't like. I'm just reviewing what comes out, and in every video I do, I will make sure to say this is a comparison which is good. So it's not just this is why The Flash is shit. It's also this is why No Way Home works better, for example. Most people are not that interested. Some people are, but most people are not that interested in you saying, I like this thing that you already like, because there's no affirmation to be gained from doing that. That said, I think that there's a difference between doing that and, say, a video essay on the prequels, because the prequels are full of the brilliant and the terrible. And so you're not really shilling for something. You are also trying to explore and explain why things break and why they don't work. And I would like to do a whole prequel arc, but time then comes into consideration, and I don't have very much of that at the moment. But maybe one day, who knows?
Can you fire the slides back just very quickly? A second?
Yeah, we
Just
need to do a
clear
bit of
one.
theatre.
Oh,
Oh, before
yes,
that,
I mean,
before that, have a look at the droid. It's got the. If you look very closely, it's
this one.
No, to the right. One more to the right.
Oh, this one.
That one. Notice the
Yeah.
1138 from George Lucas's THX 1138
yeah.
on the back of the drum.
Oh, trivia. Yeah, I know you want to do community theatre, Brown, but it's all this Gungan shite and
God swappers, do it.
come on, we'll have a little bit.
The control ship has been destroyed. Look.
Is it just me? Am I a little bit pissed, or was that a little
Shoo-shoo.
bit Admiral Akbar? I don't know.
That's what I thought. Admiral Snack Bar, right on.
Yeah.
They all are broken.
That's more like it. We're back to the.
Oh, back here.
We're back here. Yes, back to the good stuff. Back to the good stuff. So what's Maul doing here? Is he kind of trying to chop
He's
out?
sabering the floor, isn't he?
He's taunting him, isn't he? He's waiting until he falls off.
Oh,
Basically.
this is good. This is shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
Just jump, Obi-Wan. You'll survive.
Force jump. Do we have a drink there? Another?
yeah. Drink,
Yeah,
everybody.
take
Even
a
though I've
drink,
run
man,
out, but
babies,
have a
if you
drink,
would.
everybody.
Poor Liam Neeson. He's is he still alive at this point? I think
He
he is,
is.
isn't he?
Yeah. If that had been Reva, she'd have been up and away.
Oh, she would have killed.
And
She would have
gone.
killed Maul straight away. Yeah.
So does Obi-Wan sense the lightsaber's location?
Yeah, because you see
Yes.
it slowly
Drink,
start to
everybody.
grate toward him before he jumps. So he already knows where it is. He's already trying to put it toward him. So when he jumps up, he can grab it more quickly. So yeah, he knows where it is, and he's already manipulating it. Jesus Christ!
Bloody hell.
Oh well, you took the breath out of our mouths, Nikki. So well, Brownie, look, it's your channel. I think there's a bit of a moment in it, Brownie. I mean, that's absolutely astounding. Go on, Brownie, take it away.
Nikki Rellahan for 100. Jesus, 100 pounds. That is proper money, everybody. Mr. Brown and everyone in. Mr.
Camelot.
Brown, that's me, and everyone, both the chat and panel, you are all great, and I love the stuff you do. Don't ever stop.
Well, at this rate, we won't. So that's,
Well,
that's
I will say the generosity of you guys in the chat is keeping me infused to keep doing this. So
you haven't
I'm
even
just-
sucked them in with your traumatic cat story yet. So
No, it's
No.
goldfish. Goldfish.
goldfish.
I'm just fucking. Cheers, everybody. I'm just speechless.
Brownie, at this rate, you'll be able to buy one of the really good toupees, won't you? It's looking good.
I bet you're
can
glad
get
we
even
didn't
better
stop
cat.
now.
I can get rid of the skullets.
Oh, wow. No, look, that's superb,
That's unbelievable.
supremely generous, Nikki, and honestly, it's much appreciated. And there's a lot of work that goes on. I know we all dick around here like we're making shit up on
You
the
do.
spot, but there is a lot of work that goes into these streams. And if you're asking me for a little bit too much work in terms of slides, but no, look, whether you're in the chat, whether you're giving us the super chats and obviously the fellow retrobates. We have a good thing going here, and we do appreciate it. But there's a bit of a
It's just
milestone, isn't it, Brownie?
it's generosity to a fault.
Smilex has a suggestion for how you can use that money if you're done paying for your cat's recuperative therapy.
Wow.
Which is the cat.
No, a whore.
Yes.
Get yourself a whore, Brown. You've earned it.
I could do with a whore.
Um,
Moving on.
Maul with some more. He doesn't have many lines, but in terms of his physical acting, he does well, doesn't he? I think we can all agree on that.
What is that?
MJ has got a suggestion. £100. Is that how much Liam's cock weighs? Oh, you're
Quite
keeping it
possibly.
strong. They've never let us down with the Liam Neeson cock jokes. Brownie, whoever your inside man is, if he ever listens to this back, it's been about 73% Liam Neeson cock joke. So yes, and we're rocking at a steady 189.
What?
Yes.
Oh,
well,
behave.
also,
Behave.
my God.
People, behave. Behave.
Can some of you log off and go to bed, for God's sake?
Behave.
Well, common people has just blown it out of the park just before you move on.
I know. Do you want to read it, Lord?
Well,
While
I can.
While I just keep saying behave.
Oh, God, it's gone.
Oh, you do it.
There it is. Common people for Jesus Christ, £200. Do the slide slower. That's incredible. Well, it's Brown channel, but
I'm not going to be able to sleep for the next 2 days.
I don't think you like. I'm guessing most of the people who are donating here are Americans, and they don't really understand how bad British people are, in particular, with compliments. So much as Brown, I'm sure, appreciates this, it's also excruciatingly embarrassing because no one knows how to say thank you enough. But yeah,
I'm just blown away by the generosity. It's just beyond generous.
We have the best listeners.
Oh, and common people, your command is it's my wish, and I will slow this down like a space chase in The Last Jedi. Don't worry. In fact, we can do at least 20 minutes talking about how this lightsaber resembles someone's dong, but no, extremely generous, and Brownie. I thought last week was lucrative for you. This week, you've got a chance of paying the mortgage off, haven't you? It's going well.
It's close.
How are the numbers going up? You're pushing towards 200 watches here. Is this
193 at the moment? Can you believe it?
I think
we've still got how many slides?
Oh God, I don't know.
80.
They say God loves a trier, and I think you're just battering people into submission here, but we'll keep going.
Seriously, because if you look at the number of streams, and I do one of these streams where we just talk up and chat like bollocks for the most part. We don't put any effort into that, and I think people, when they do come across the stream, they do appreciate the effort you clearly put into it compared to almost any other live stream on YouTube. The only stream I know of that puts more effort into production than you're doing is probably EFAB, and that's the highest of bars by my standards. So I think people probably do appreciate the fact that there's a reason we're able to go through slide by slide a film like The Phantom Menace for 6 or 7 weeks, and that's because you are taking the time to make sure that every single thing is included.
Go back slide.
Earlier when we first started doing this, we would just kind of watch the film and just kind of roughly do a grab as we go through. Whereas, I don't know, as you get better, more pro, you want to do it better and better and better. So figuring out what the precise still in the player as well made a huge difference, so we can really get it to the frame. But doing that just takes ages, but it's worth it.
Go back one more, Brian.
Oh, we're going backwards. Okay, there you go. Is that what you want? Oh,
there. You see where the lightsaber is?
Oh, yes.
It doesn't move in between the next couple of frames.
Does it not? I thought it did, because you see that there's a cutaway shot where it's vibrating across the floor.
Not at this part, no.
Oh.
So you've got the red switch facing forwards, and then 3 slides later it's facing upwards for a more dramatic shot.
Ooh, that's some attention to detail, Lancy. We appreciate it.
Ruin, do you want to do a super chat, mate?
Of course. Fear the Hammers says for $5 from somewhere with the currency of dollar. Could be the States, could be somewhere else. He says, newer subscriber, and I enjoyed the prequel series a lot. It's so fun listening to these conversations. It's only 8 p.m. here, and I have all night. Keep it up. Oh, well, you're in for a treat. Yeah. We've got at least 90 more slides to go for you, the Hammer. We do have a decision to make.
But he's right. I love the prequels, and I also understand that they are pretty shit films, but it's the difference between enjoyment and quality, which a lot of people, I think, will miss. So when people say, I like this thing, they very often mean, therefore it's good. And they tend to get a bit uncomfortable when you say, well, I understand that you like it, but it's also a bit shit. But I like loads of things that I consider to be complete shit. And And the prequels are high amongst that list. So, yeah.
This is made from the right place, but it's just George. It became a technical exercise. And as we've said on all these streams, it needed somebody to say, George, no, pack it in, son. No, no. But it is made from the right place.
Yeah.
We've
I
got a
love
little
the
bit.
design. Oh,
Sorry, Brian. No, just saying the debate in the chat about the different time zones, and obviously some people just rolling out of bed on the East Coast, and others, just getting settled in for the evening. It's goddamn 1 a.m. in the morning on a school night here in the UK. But anyway, we'll see how we go. This is a pivotal scene, isn't it? Because this is the do we call it the force jump, force leap, force somersault? I don't know.
Force levitation, isn't it?
It's the common people for 2 English pounds says, how much for the slides to go backwards? Well, what we're thinking, common people, is we'll get to the end and then we'll go backwards. And it's a bit like playing the old, you play the records backwards and they have secret
It's like a Tenet live stream.
Yeah.
We should do Tenet one week. Only do the first half and then just play it backwards for the other half.
Dark Side of the Walk. Always good to see you, Dark Side. He says he would give 500 if he could. He loves these streams, so we appreciate it. We appreciate everyone. And we're holding strong, Brown, at 179.
I know, that is mind-blowing.
Nice shot, igniting the green.
That's very unlike Liam Neeson's lightsaber to be that short, isn't it?
I do like the design of this lightsaber. It's just literally my favourite one of the lot.
Do you own that replica, Brian?
I used to own the Master Replicas one, the actual movie prop, but they don't do it as an FX, and I prefer the FX ones. But the Sideshow Kenobi Mythos figure, and that's a figure of Kenobi. It's set between Revenge of the Sith and A New Hope. It's a kind of Alec Guinness. There's 2 different ones. One's a kind of Alec Guinness older, and Alec Guinness younger, Ewan McGregor older version, and there's another one that's just the kind of Alec Guinness head on its own, the kind of 12-inch figure, but it actually includes Qui-Gon's lightsaber, as if that was part of the story. He took it, and I really loved that, and I've got that figure, and it was undone by the Kenobi series when you see him digging up the two lightsabers, and it's his old one plus Anakin's. I was like, you bastards! Anyway.
Moving on.
Can we, thanks, Brian. Can we give a little send well wishes to Jay Goodwin, our friend Jay Goodwin in the chat, who says, please make it last. I've got a second eye surgery tomorrow and won't be able to ogle chat for a while. So good luck with the eye surgery, Jay. And yes, we'll try and push on as best we can. What are we thinking, Brownie? It's your channel. I mean, I feel like we're within touching distance.
That's the chat.
Well, there's about 3 major scenes left. That's it. We're basically at the end.
You've got to get up, Ruin, not me.
Oh God, I know. I'm thinking it. Yeah.
Reap what you sow, son.
Yes, I know. Look, I think the chat are enjoying it. We're touching 190. I think we just go for it.
Yeah, okay.
My fellow retrobates, are you with me?
Yeah. You've got 67 slides to pile through.
And there it is. There's the money shot, folks.
Again,
is he selling this a bit hard, or is he?
No,
you like it? Yeah.
Do you know, if Maul just sticks his lightsaber out as he's coming up, he can, instead of diagonally, he can vertically split Obi-Wan in 2, but he doesn't. He's breaking, also, Obi-Wan is breaking the Jaime Lannister rule of swordsmanship, and that's don't grimace before you make the hit. It gives the game away.
Well, we're past the watershed.
Never
Well,
make
hang
a
on.
semi-serious point on this show because it's immediately going to be derailed by the chat saying something violent.
But if
It's
it is his
Marvel
cum
humour.
face, then we have just confirmed that his cum is red because you get the little spray of red
it's
that comes
blood.
up, right?
It's blood
So
then, isn't it? It's blood.
no, it's red cum, which is almost a Shining reference now I think about it.
Yeah.
but not quite.
Murder.
There you go. I've finished you off, you horny bastard.
Drink, everybody. Change of hairstyle.
Oh, change your
He's
hair.
lost weight again.
There's Maul.
Why does he go back to a
2
blue
parts.
lightsaber in Attack of the Clones if he's got Qui-Gon's, which is green? Why does he go back to a blue one?
It's a completely new lightsaber, I think, isn't it? I don't know. Maybe his lightsaber was buried with him. I don't know.
Yeah.
God, even in death, look at that. Even in his final
Yeah, he
scenes,
looks
he
great,
still gives
doesn't
a great performance. Look at that.
He looks
Somehow
he looks like the
return.
animated version of Maul.
They added a scene in here, the original theatrical release. I might even have got it in between, wasn't between the theatrical release and the DVD/videos coming out. It might even have been between part of the theatrical run. They didn't show the shot of him falling down the shaft and splitting into two. He just fell backwards. He's not coming back from that, is he?
Oof.
Yeah, he
There
falls.
you go.
I'll see you in the Solo movie.
Have we missed the shot here, Brown, where you kind of see him falling in 2 parts?
You can't see it. He's there. He is
okay.
there. You just can't see it. No, you can't see it. I tried to get it. You just can't see it.
Okay, I'll let you off.
I think it was in the Clone Wars animated movie when that came out. It showed the Jedi could slow their landing after a high fall by using the Force to repel themselves just before they hit the ground, so they could land safely. So I can maybe guess that he did that in this. I don't know.
Can they do that after they've been cut in half?
Yeah, he got
That's
cut
the
in half.
issue. That's the thing. Can he do Force powers without his legs still? That's the question.
While we've got you, Swappers, could you do the super chat, and then we're going to need to switch gears and do your best Liam Neeson for us, please.
Which one am I doing here? The chat.
Super chat first, Liam Neeson second.
Right. Khaled Sawar in the chat for £1.99.
Real money.
Palpatine.
As Palpatine.
Maul had the higher ground and lost.
And switch straight to Liam Neeson on his deathbed.
No, it's too late.
Oh, he's sharp as a pin, isn't he? He's so good. Brown, we're touching 200.
It's a touching cloth then.
I will be if this stream goes on any fucking longer.
I'd really like to bail at 3, but it's when we can come back.
We're
that's the
so
problem.
close to the end. No.
Just keep going. Keep going.
What's that little bit of
Promise me.
animation?
Promise
there?
me you'll train the boy.
Promise me you'll train the boy.
Got an echo.
It's quite a nice little moment between these two until Ewan McGregor goes, no! Like Anakin, like Swapper's Anakin impression.
Oh, there we go. Sorry to go backwards, and don't get angry with me, chat. Brian's just quickly.
You can just about make it out.
Just about me, yeah. It's quite dark,
Yeah.
isn't it? But that's Maul in 2 halves.
I think that was CGI.
Thanks, Brian.
Sure, it was.
No, I'm sure they cut him in half for real. Oh.
Oh, did they? They could have lit it up a bit better.
Shaft,
Yeah, they could have lit it up a bit better. Promise me you'll train the boy.
Oh, let's do it again. It was so good. Go on, Brown. You're loving this.
He is the chosen one.
Another cum face right there.
Go on, Brown.
And
Don't stop now.
And one more thing. He will bring balance.
Oh, he's chewing the scenery here, isn't he? Oh,
And while I forget, train him.
Oh, and he's gone. He's gone. He's Qui-Gon. Oh well.
Preserve my dong, Obi-Wan.
Oh, they should pickle his dung in a massive jar. It's such a magnificent thing. If I was Obi-Wan, I'd toss him down the hole now. That'd be the best thing to do.
Toss him what, eh?
Toss him off.
200 watching. Wow.
200!
We've got 200. Unbelievable. America's just waking up or finishing work or whatever they do over there. Amber Sidaway says, how does the panel feel about the Chosen One stuff? Well, I put it to the panel. Anyone
Don't
wanna,
like it. I can't
no?
stand it. I nearly
Ooh.
collapsed in the cinema when it said it was a virgin birth. I thought, he's Jesus. No, I don't like it at all. I think it knackers a lot of it.
No. Anyone in favour of it? Anyone support it?
I
Maybe not.
didn't mind it personally.
No, I don't mind it. I think it's executed awfully, but I think on the idea level, I don't think it's terrible. I think you can see. I think it does pay obeisance to Vader's role in the OT to have him more important than simply a bad guy who will go good eventually. If you also portray him as this prophetic figure, I think you can make that work very well. I don't think, however, that the prequels necessarily made it work that well, but I like the idea. But that's the same thing with everything about the prequels. I like the idea behind it. I don't like the delivery.
I'll just say to Nikki Relihan, I was 31 fucking years old and I didn't know better, to be fair.
Now we cut away from the sad death scene to a ship, and I'm completely at a loss now where we are and what's going on. Can anyone fill me in?
This is the Supreme Chancellor, new Supreme Chancellor Palpatine arriving on Naboo. Just after the Viceroy of the Trade Federation has been made prisoner, so he's being carted away, and Palpatine gets off the ship to congratulate the victorious Naboo forces. Or it's a giant sex toy, as MJ UK94 says.
Yes, yeah. I thought it was a tribute to Qui-Gon Jinn, but no. I mean,
it is to scale. I think that is to scale. Yeah.
There we go.
Now, Viceroy.
That's a great shot. It looks like a painting, doesn't it? It's a Renaissance painting.
By the way, everybody, take a drink. Obi-Wan, different air.
Oh God, I'm all out of drink.
I think he's put weight back on.
He's not
definitely put weight back on. Yeah, chubby.
What we've probably run out of accents now. Why don't we just have because he's not featured in the last 4 weeks. Z3PO in the style of Z3PO, if you would, please.
You're going to have to go back to the Senate and explain all this.
Oh, I'd love Z3PO to be in this scene. Go on, Brown.
Who's saying this?
Wow.
Captain Panaka.
Oh.
Okay.
So it's obviously going to be Jamaican.
I think you can kiss your Trade Federation franchise goodbye, man.
he had to put the man on the end, didn't he? He was struggling. Oh, dear.
And that's where we wrap it up, folks.
Well, Swappers, I feel as though this line's made for you, Swappers.
This is 6 weeks in the making, Swappers.
He's actually back. He's back in the movie after that tiny little bit at the start of the film. We're indebted to you for your bravery, everyone can have it.
Oh, I liked how you toned down the Palpatine there. Brown, who's got more hair going on? Is it your good self or is it Palps in this scene?
Possibly me, but only just.
Good stuff. Are you fancy getting a few plugs with the money you've made tonight?
Butt plugs. Yeah, butt plugs.
He's got a gap in his collection. So.
He's got a gap somewhere, but the plug will fill it.
Swappers, you got to do the go on, do the voiceovers, mate. This is for you.
Go back one slide. Go back. Go on.
Let's suck it in. Go on. Here we go, folks.
And you, young Skywalker, we will watch your career with great interest.
Oh,
it feels like that should be more of a Savile line than a
Schofield. Christ.
That's Philip Schofield talking to his new runner.
We will watch your career with great interest.
Ooh, we get
Come
Brownie's
and
getting
meet
tested.
Holly Willoughby, young man. Moving
Can
on.
we get some love though for Ian McDiarmid? Because Ian McDiarmid is consistently, by an order of magnitude, the best thing about all of the prequels. He camps it up a
Agreed.
bit, he overacts a
Agreed.
bit, but it's so compelling. It's humorous. Most of the memes come from him. He embodies the role. He clearly is having a really good time with what he's doing, and he doesn't suffer under George Lucas's stultifying "don't act at all."
Because he knew what he
aura.
was doing.
Well, he did, but he also seemed to have much more freedom than anybody else did.
Yeah.
He has fun with the role. He camps it up. It's great fun. I think
Totally.
he's a brilliant choice for this role. He's the most watchable part about any of these films. Is Ian McDiarmid.
Congratulations on your election, Chancellor.
Good old
Just
Jimmy.
note the
saying that.
Moving on.
second from the right there is another Star Wars villain,
Really?
and that's producer Rick McCallum.
Oh yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Who allowed George to do whatever he wanted and told him he was fantastic. The guy in the right someone, but I cannot right for me remember his name.
Brian, what female accents have you got in your locker? Because I'll take it absolutely any you've got. If you could read this one out, please.
Female accents. Fuck. Congratulations on your election, Chancellor.
No, the Amelia
The
Bedelia
chat.
chat.
So I mean the drinks kicking in.
Amelia Bedelia on the chat says he has a face you can face you can sit on happily.
Oh wow, that was worth waiting for. Thank you, Brian.
Oh my God, Willie O'Wunty's comment.
Go on, Swappers. It's your line.
Sorry, I've just been reading Willie O'Wunty's comment there. It's very good.
Yeah, sorry, Willie.
Your boldness has saved your... Hang on a minute. Oh, yes, right, okay. Your boldness has saved our people, Your Majesty. God, he looks so young.
He goes on to, it's you who should be congratulated.
Willie or won't he? Can't get any more culturally offensive. I won't be back next week, Mon. I
Well,
don't think
neither
we
will we.
will be either. Sorry, Willie.
It is you who should be congratulated.
MJ in the chat says that's Palp's face when he was banging Ray's mum.
Grand.
And the guy on the left won, everybody.
What? Yadi Mundi?
No.
Oh dear.
One from, sorry, two from left, three from left.
Oh,
Palpatine?
right, Bram.
Yeah, he won.
Oh,
his
okay.
granddaughter did.
No, he won because he inhabited.
he won.
Per the
Yeah.
rules of the Rise of Skywalker, if she killed him, he inhabited her, which is what she did. So he does. So he has won, and he
What
should
do
be
you
the
think
main villain. of the next
George
film.
thought when he saw that it was Palps?
White slavers, I think.
Z, here's one for you, and I know that I've heard you use this line before with Uncle Owen, so if you would please, Z.
Nikki Rellahan in the chat says, "Bum me, Queen."
It's so wrong, but it's how can it be so wrong when it feels so right?
That's what Schofield said.
Anyway, moving on. We got
Well, Norman Dinklage has a more topical version of this.
What?
Brian, what's wrong, Brian?
Sorry, lost code. I wasn't sure about the guy third from the right there, but
we're
the
getting
beard put
into
me
the-
off. It is in fact Ben Burt who's responsible for all the sounds and
Oh,
stuff.
wow.
So that was Smilex that pointed it out. I didn't
Yeah.
quite reckon. I wasn't sure if it was him.
Excellent, Smilex. That's the chap in the kind of grey beard, yeah?
Yep.
with
Well, there's
the
about,
hat on.
there's about three of them with grey beards in
Well,
that shot.
yeah.
Is it with the
Next to the
bald?
Between the bald chap and McCallum.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The one who's
He looks a
clutching
bit
his
like Alec
balls.
Baldwin.
The defensive wall pose. Yeah.
Drink for you, McGregor's hair, by the way. We missed that one. It's looking very
Buffon.
bedraggled.
Well, it's every scene, isn't it? So it's just drink. Just look at what's his face in the go back. What's
Just
the
for the
name of
record, folks, this was the guy who 40
No,
minutes ago
no,
was telling me
that's-
to hurry up and move it along. Now he wants to
when I
go
was
back.
when I was sitting through the torture of doing these slides, this particular slide piqued my interest. Just look at Anakin's face. Totally disjointed out the scene. Just looks like he's just doing something else. Yeah, just awful.
Stop bullying children, Brown.
I think
He's
that's more
about
to do with
8
Lucas's.
years old.
That's more to do with Lucas's direction than Jake Lloyd's acting. I think.
Am I doing it right, George? Am I doing it right, George?
Oh, God, I don't even want
Christ.
to create an innuendo out of that one. Brownie, you're up to 215. The longer this goes, the more painful it is. The more the audience
Listen, I
you
sat
seem
through
to
the pain
garner.
of doing the slide, so we're fine.
What's this, Gaff?
That's Lord's house.
Oh, okay, yeah. That's the
That's
West
Lord
Wing, isn't it?
Manor. That's
Yeah,
Lord's Manor,
I can
yeah.
confirm that is where I live. Yes.
There you go. And here's the inside. Oh, and someone's getting knighted. Wow. We got a bit of Yoda. Who can pull off a Yoda? Bet you swappers can pull off a Yoda.
I tried it once, but it got a bit messy.
Oh.
Confer on the level of Jedi Knight, the council does.
Oh, very good.
I forgot there was Yoda, a bit of Yoda at the
Yes.
end here.
But agree with your taking this boy as your Padawan learner.
Oh, got a bit Irish in the middle.
Yeah,
but
no,
we'll let
we're
it
going a
slide.
bit to Nelson Mandela territory as well. It's not quite the same.
I do not.
Oh, we're getting into community
Oh.
theatre. It's so good. Keep going.
The chosen one, the boy may be. Grave danger, I feel, in his training.
Oh, that was good.
Oh, that was really good. That was nice intonation.
So you don't get this on Nuderotic.
Go on, Brian. You're better at
Oh,
Obi-Wan.
he's bailed.
Old Alec or young Olaf? I'll do old Alec.
Master Yoda, I gave Qui-Gon my word.
Oh, very nice.
Very good.
Sorry to break the community theatre, but Jonathan Frost.
Brian, would you like
is
to do
very-
that in the Obi voice, please?
Oh, you appreciate that.
Jonathan Frost in the chat for 20 Americano pounds.
That's not real money, folks.
I can't wait for the first stream for Attack of the Clones next week.
A bit of the Winston Churchills about it. I
Sorry,
did
the
like
Jack
it.
Daniels kicked in at the last couple of seconds.
We need
Brilliant.
to get to. Did I say 3,000 subs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
what
And
do you
then
want to do?
and then when you boys come back from vacation, we're going to do a 12-hour. We're going to try and do a 12-hour Attack of the Clones.
We genuinely are going to do it.
So-
How's that
so-
going to work out, Brown? I mean,
Well,
when do you-
I've got to produce the slides,
oh God,
so that's
gonna
probably
take-
giving me enough time to do it. So we need to get to 3,000 subs, and we're not going to do it a moment before.
Anyway, back to Yoda.
We are at, if I can speak,
Oh, go on.
2,664.
Tell your friends.
Everybody in the chat, tell your friends. 3,000 subs, and we will do the 12-hour mega stream.
And you've got no idea how pissed we're going to be into that second half of that stream. Barely legible. Oh, that's a crucial line, isn't it?
Go on, Swaps.
Your apprentice, Skywalker, will be.
Oh, lovely.
That's very good.
It's getting good, old Swap, isn't he? We're having a barbecue here, aren't we? By the look of it?
Yeah,
And
cannibal.
that's just that is just his penis as well. His main body is being burned somewhere else.
Yeah, this is the second.
Are they having
cremation, yeah.
sausages?
Oh,
Throw another sausage on the barbie.
Can you imagine can you imagine the size of the finger roll for that sausage? That is a hell of a lot of bread.
Ah,
foot
ketchup
long.
and mustard, anyone?
Brownie, unzip, get the Todger out because it's take it home time. Look at this.
Ooh,
Common people for £50. That is
£50.
50. That is real money. I'm. Ugh.
Bend over
Brownie,
and take that. Benjamin.
As
you can
my
get a
old
good
dad
time with
used to
that.
say, if it doesn't fit, spit on it and try again.
Oh, jeez.
My favorite super chats are the ones which, if they weren't super chats, there's no way we'd read it out. But the fact that someone's throwing some dosh behind it kind of forces us to. But common people, you're forever enshrined with that witticism.
I will say, common people, send me an email through the on the about page. There's my email on the inquiries. Send me an email, mate, and I can personally thank you, please.
Yeah, he also wants a loan as well, so just warning you about that. No, it's very generous and much appreciated, and there we go. Why is one foot not burning up there? Is they not put enough fuel on the left foot there, or?
That's the one his cock's tucked in.
Oh,
That's not his foot.
that's not his foot, folks. Yes, well done, Z. How does this compare to the Vader barbecue? What was your favourite?
I thought the coleslaw and the spread was a lot better for this one.
Oh, okay.
This is a lot more communal.
Great alcoholic drinks as well.
I had a nice marshmallow on the Vader one, but I ended up with a bit of black stuff over the marshmallow, which is unfortunate. But anyway, I overstayed my welcome, and there was a young Kylo Ren hanging around waiting to grab the helmet. It was all got a bit awkward.
Moving on.
Anyway, who have we got here? What are these lineup of retrobates? We've got some
Boss Nass, Anakin,
annoying
Obi-Wan,
Gungans.
Padme,
Sissy Tin.
Palpatine, and Jar Jar.
And
Who's
Sissy
that?
Tin on the left.
freak on the left. Who's it,
Sissy
Brian?
Tin.
I don't know who that is. Give me some
I thought you
more.
were a Star Wars fan.
Read your bloody Star Wars. Do your homework.
I just no idea
sake.
who it is.
Z will give you a backstory. He's good at that kind of thing.
Z, in
Yes.
30 seconds, what can you tell us about ZZ Top on the left there?
The Sassy Tin is a force-sensitive Iktochi male from the moon Iktochi. And he was a Jedi Master who served on the Jedi High Council during the last years of the Galactic Republic.
You touch it inappropriately.
And he was one of the first Jedi to be slain during Order 66.
Brian, can you do this line in your very best Philip Schofield impression, please?
Philip Schofield. What will happen to me now?
Do you want me to die? Is that what you want? Go on then,
There you go,
Lordy. Go on,
No, it's
Lordy.
Brian,
Well, I'd fancy a bit of Lordy at this point.
I think Brian's better at Obi-Wan than I am. I haven't figured out how the nose thing works yet.
Oh, go on then, Brian. Let's hear it done properly.
The council have granted me permission to train you.
Brownie, you're up to 232. Frankly,
Unbelievable.
you've got enough money to at least pay the energy bill this month. Can you, just for the pleasure of your growing audience, can you give us your best Obi-Wan?
Oh God. Okay. I can't do it.
I've got faith in you. I've got faith in you. It's all in the nasal. Hang on. Hold the stream, everyone. Hold the stream.
Brian knows how to. So, Brian, if I were to go something
Go on,
like,
teach me, Brian.
the council have granted me permission to train you.
The
What am I
council
doing that
granted
you're
me
not
permission
doing?
to train you.
You've got the nose thing down.
Brian,
Probably
bit of
about
coaching.
20 Benson hedges a day for me is usually what helps. I've noticed I used to be able to do it quite well when I was younger, but I've noticed I can put less and less effort into it as I got older because of the number of cigarettes I've smoked over the years, which makes me think that Alec Guinness must have been a chain smoker.
Okay, not entirely useful, but Brown, you've not got the opportunity to smoke 20 years worth in the 3 seconds. So
Well, you could try.
all I can say,
Smoking is
Brown,
not good for you, everybody. by the way.
engage the nasal cavity and use the force, as John
The
C says.
council have granted me.
That was one of a thought, Brown.
Now then.
Obi-Wan
I was
Savile.
about the council have granted me permission to bomb you.
Oh my god. This is ridiculous.
What a twist! What a twist!
If you've liked this stream, please unlike at this point, please. I can't condone that at all.
Come on, Brian, do it.
You will be a Jedi, I promise.
There you go, Brown. I want you to practice that, Brown, for the next time.
God, it's
Who's
taking
that
his
on
time
the
to burn.
right side there? Is that Padma? Is that someone else?
Somebody else.
Random.
Okay. What incidentally, Brown,
One,
if I was to ask you to score on
one,
a
get
1
on
to
with it.
10 basis,
One, get on with it.
you give him 1, yeah. You
As
give
long as
the
it gets the
burning
stream moving, yes, get on with
burning
it.
corpse of Liam Neeson 1.
Oh, yes.
Well, here's a bit of Samuel L. So there's only one person I can go to for this.
Is this his line?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, it is. There's
Go
no
on,
doubt
Brown.
this mysterious motherfucker was a Sith.
Yeah, man. There's no
God.
doubt this mysterious warrior was a motherfucking Sith man.
Oh
But
no!
did he look like a bitch, though, is the question.
Possibly.
Brown, unbelievably, you're up to 240. I don't know what's going on tonight.
Always two there are.
Oh, who is that?
Oh, Swaps.
That was 10 out of 10 swaps.
Yes.
Really good.
Honestly,
I thought
that
it was
was
there in the scene.
uncannily good. Excellent.
A master and an apprentice.
Oh, Swappers is,
Shooter.
Swappers is absolutely knocking out the park.
But which bitch was destroyed?
But which bitch was destroyed, man? The master or the apprentice? Irie.
And here's a quick shot of the. This is the which ABBA album is this? It's
Super Trooper.
Oh, just before we move on to this immensely cringe scene, can we go back one slide?
go back.
Because
342 if
I'm
you
wondering
want.
what everybody else thought of this scene, because I understand that George was trying to keep it slightly coy, but I don't think he ever quite got it clear in his own mind how clear he wanted it to be that this Palpatine was the Emperor, because he tries to keep it secretive sometimes, other times he just reveals it straight to the camera, like in this scene. What did everyone make of this sort of Palpatine stare? Is this effective, or is it too obvious?
I felt it was. If you're thinking about the new generation who maybe haven't seen the original trilogy, I felt as if it was just slightly hinted at the same way. If you look closely to one of the scenes where it cuts away after I think he's nominated to become potential chancellor, and there's a slight smirk in his face when he gets his own way, and the camera the wipe just takes it away from him. I think it was meant to be, whether or not he succeeded, I think it was meant to be hinted at. Of course, for everyone else who'd seen the original trilogy, there's no fucking twist at all. But either way you watch it, you're going to spoil it for yourself twist-wise, aren't you? If you watch it from like 3, 4, 5, or you watch it from 1, 2, 3.
Loving the ABBA puns in the chat.
Dancing Sheev.
Yeah, there we go. There's one from Brownie. I'm sure you got a few more. Don't shortchange me here, man, babies.
On Schofield.
Palpy, palpy, palpy. That's an ABBA song, isn't
it? Anyone fancy a bit of a sing-song for Jay Goodwin's lyrics? It's good, isn't it?
Go on, you sing it. You're the singer.
I'm not quite sure the melody of the line. It's something like
I know.
how. Go on, who's
Go
going
on.
to do it? Someone's going to dive in there. Go on. I'll butcher
How
it.
can we sleep while a Qui-Gon's burning?
There we go. There we go.
Oh, I can do this one.
The Sith will take it all.
Feeling hot, hot, hot. Yeah, man.
Yep.
Feeling hot, hot, hot. Yeah, man.
Oh,
Barry.
Brownie, you're enjoying it too much.
Moving on.
More Gungans.
Hello, everybody.
Oh,
Hello, matey
God,
peeps.
God.
Stavros.
Oh God, it's like it fits so well.
I hate this scene so much. It's basically one of the worst scenes in the OT is the celebration at the end because Ewoks suck and parties are just generally cringe. And that's obviously what he was going for with this one as well. Let's do the Ewok scene, but with Gungans instead. And I just want to, why don't you end it with Qui-Gon's death? That would be good because that's a poignant scene. It's impactful and it gives a sense of where the galaxy is going thereafter. You don't need this weird glowing orb shit with the Gungans and the Naboo at peace. I don't like this at all.
Yeah, the side shot of Palps, just have it fade out. That's it.
Yeah,
Looks
leave it
good.
there. Yeah, it's a very good end.
To me, it's just trying to copy A New Hope. Star Wars.
Just one more
Oh,
thing,
yeah.
folks.
Go on, Brian.
That's
Brownie.
it. No, that's what George was thinking. Just one more thing.
I thought you were going to make a
Yeah, so
poignant.
they're going to wrap it up by the Naboo handing over one of the medium-sized boomers.
Oh, look at that. Fuck off.
What? What's wrong with that?
Oh, just
Welcome to Hating Children on the Mr. Brown Alliance channel.
no, 18 bad actors.
He's doing fuck all. His job is to stand there. Stand there with your
Doesn't
new
even
haircut,
stand
son.
there like he's standing there correctly.
No.
I love that listening fat.
How would you like him to stand?
Not like that.
How did he get that rat's tail? His hair wasn't that long.
Drink everybody hair, change of hair,
Oh.
drink.
Whoops. I love that listening fat had no idea that Chancellor Palpatine was the Emperor. Brilliant.
The thing is, he's seen the original trilogy.
Oh, I think we've just spoiled it for him, unfortunately. But
Here you go, folks. Frank's Lanky Spank Plank. Extensions, everybody. That's what I could do with.
well, it's the celebration scene, and we've got some
It's
Greek.
also
Warwick in
John
this.
Williams' worst aspect of the entire soundtrack. John Williams does not do sentimental celebration stuff well at all. Every time he tries to do celebration, it becomes very, very, very sort of cloy and there's something about the soundtrack for this which just does not work at all, and it's a shame because this entire scene doesn't work either. But it does cheapen everything that came before, I think, including the good work that John Williams did.
The money that Lucas spent on these scenes
Doesn't compare to the money you've made off this stream.
he should have not done this scene and spend the money elsewhere just to improve some of the better things.
Yeah, like the final battle with the Gungans, populate the field a bit more.
Yeah,
make
just
it less of a screensaver.
Brownie, I do believe you fancied a bit of that one in the middle last time.
in the middle, right, left middle, or right middle.
Why choose?
One.
Okay. And what about the lady at the front?
Just get on with it.
He's losing his patience.
Oh, fuck's
239.
Sorry,
Brown.
folks.
It's
sorry. Moving
it's
on.
all good. Oh,
What is
Now-
that?
is this Harry Potter meets Star Wars? What's going on here?
It's Dobby the house elf in a different universe.
What is
Do you think is this like the moment where you go to the urinal, you whip it out, and a bloke rocks up next to you, and it's Liam Neeson? Is this Yoda feeling a little bit inadequate next to this big-eared fucker? Is that what's going on?
A cat scratched him. That's how he lost an eye.
Hey.
Oh, prophecy there from George.
Do we prefer the puppet Yoda from the original or the CG Yoda from the
Puppet.
redone version.
Puppet.
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 Yeah, the CG doesn't quite. The CG doesn't quite look right here, does it? It doesn't quite look like he's there.
No.
Puppet from the original version, but certainly the CGI is far better than the puppet that was in the original Phantom Menace.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Is this where they all get medals, but Chewie doesn't? Is that what's going on
glowing
here?
orb. This totally was not needed at all.
No.
I've got no recollection of this. I don't remember any of this. I must always fall asleep by this point.
There's
I
Brown in
think
the
the
middle there.
The chat preferring the puppet.
Oh,
Peace,
yeah.
even though they weren't at war. I quite like Theed, but it's probably more to do with some of the Phantom Menace computer games back then.
Yeah.
Got to explore the world and run about and shoot things in it. Beautiful wish.
Padme's had some fabulous garments in this particular episode, hasn't she? I mean, we've yet to see the what do we call the outfits in the Attack of the Clones arena? The white exposed
Bodysuit.
belly top.
Bodysuit, yeah.
Bodysuit. Okay. Brown's already getting excited for that one.
12
What do we
hours
think of
stream.
this smirking little shit?
Nudge, nudge, wink, wink. I'll be seeing
Say
you
no
later,
more.
Queenie.
Cookie's charm will be right in there, lads.
But can you imagine this scene the other way around? So let's say Anakin is her age and she is Anakin's age. And
Very
she's winking at
problematic
him.
straight off.
It's just this is one of the many reasons they should have made him an older character. Not many years, but a few years older to make it less of an obvious age gap, because like, now we know what happens after that. That nudge nudge wink wink is basically a 9-year-old saying to her, well, I mean, she looks
Get your kit off,
what,
love.
19,
Love,
20.
yeah.
I'm gonna I'll fuck you at some point in the future. And
The Lord has spoken, everybody.
There's something not quite right about that at all.
It's the
Is
Hollywood
R2
way.
the third player in this menage a trois? What's he thinking here? I don't
Well,
know.
he's very butt plug shaped, to be fair.
Oh, Jesus. Really?
Anything's a
No,
dildo if you're brave enough.
Oh, see, there's the line of the night, folks, and you've had to wait till
Everything is a
1:43 in the
dildo
morning.
if you're brave enough, folks.
Got that from
Get that on
McLaren.
a t-shirt, Brown.
Drink, everybody. Change of hair. Wait.
That's the first time we see Kira on the left there looking.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she looks good, doesn't she?
Was she
Can we do an
14
age
at the
check on
time?
Keira Knightley in this movie before we get all excited?
One.
How old was she at the time? 12.
I have a feeling she was 16 at the time, I think.
Oh,
I
okay.
have to check that again. I'm not sure.
Cheers,
Is
everybody.
that another can? Wow.
How old
Sorry,
was
sorry,
Keira
lads,
Knightley
yeah.
in The Phantom Menace? 12 years old.
What?
Oh.
Silence, stream killer.
Oh, yeah.
I don't believe it. I've just nearly shorted. We've done it, folks. We got there.
Hallelujah.
Remember, we've still got to get the panel's thoughts.
Oh, we do. Okay. Well,
Closing
look,
thoughts of the
closing thoughts.
Christ.
Well, first of all, I can't believe the people who doubted us in the chat. We got there in the end. We wrapped it up. But okay, well, let's do it. Let's get round closing thoughts. While we're getting the closing thoughts, all you man babies in the chat, can we have your score out of 10 for the Phantom Menace?
Yeah,
We
and
need
I'll
your
flash them up,
scores.
yeah.
Excellent, Brownie. So let's start with Z. Z, closing thoughts and your score rating.
It's a great movie. There are plenty of absolutely
I'll do it.
solid action scenes, but it's let down by some utter buffoonery and astonishing luck with Anakin and Jar Jar. So, I mean, that really spoiled it for me. It's I'm going to give it a 5.
Ooh, okay. Brian, always a voice of positivity. Can you better a 5 for us? What's your closing thoughts?
Yes, I think I can. But I mean, a couple of things I've realised on this stream. But I think I saw it probably 4 times in the cinema back in the day,
Wow.
and each time I was deliberately trying to convince myself that it was better than it was, doing the real life Brian Young thing. But actually, just going through these slides and that the past few weeks, I've realised how much of it was headcanon for me. Either headcanon or supplementary material. The film doesn't point out a lot of things that it should point out. I think there were some brilliant set pieces in it that still hold up today. I'm not going to be too critical of the CGI. I think the time that it was shot has got a lot to do with that. The story was pretty much followed a lot of the beats in A New Hope, but didn't pull it off anything like as well as it should have done. It was disappointing, and the more I watch, I can still stick it on and not be too offended with it, but it wasn't how I thought Star Wars was going to be. I thought it was going to be more dramatic. I thought it was going to be great from the off, and I thought the Empire was going to be already there, which was a bit of a disappointment for me. The politics obviously drags it down, more so than any other films. But I can understand why they've done that. They have to start from relative scratch and build up the threat levels in the Empire. So I can see why they've done that. But it still isn't a particularly brilliant film. It's still far better than anything that Disney's produced, with the possible exception of Rogue One. I think I'd give it quite a generous 7 out of 10.
Oh, okay. What's the kind of what are we averaging out there, Brown? Before we just get some other thoughts.
I would say
5, 6?
on average, there's a few 7s, a few 6s, 4s. It's kind of, I'm thinking it's slap bang in the middle. On average, probably a 5, slap bang in the middle, which is probably about right for me.
Well, go on, Brown. While we've got you, what's your closing thoughts as well as your score, your personal score?
Okay, first of all, we should be blessed that we were getting another Star Wars film when we didn't think we were going to get one. So it's made from the right place, as I've said. George was too reliant on CGI. He should have just toned it back a bit. The clunky dialogue, Jar Jar, awful. It just needed somebody say, George, no. And it needed somebody to just go through the script maybe 2-3 times to tighten it up. Because I genuinely think there's a decent Star Wars film in there somewhere. And agree with what Lord said about the actor who plays Anakin. Should have been the same age as Padme. Because it's even now, it's borderline. Yeah, I would give it 5 out of 10.
5, you would say? Okay.
I'm just going to sit on the fence.
Okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
No, that's fine, Brownie. Star of the show, star of the channel, star of the internet. Some would say certainly one of the biggest star on the ASMR scene.
Oh, yes.
Lord Chord, your much awaited closing thoughts and your score, please.
George Lucas's big problem is that he does not do nuance at all. George Lucas has a great many brilliant ideas, but he will try to maximize them without regard to how they fit together. George Lucas thinks that to entertain children, you must be as childish as possible. To make a political point, you must be as political as possible. To make an action film, you must have as much action as possible. He doesn't really have any understanding as to how those things knit together in the course of writing a story, and that's been apparent really since Return of the Jedi, when he brings the Ewoks in. So I think that the problem with this film is that there are way too many disparate ideas without enough connecting tissue. I don't think he understands what it takes to knit his various ideas together. And the problem results that you've got basically 3 or 4 films in this one without one really taking the dominant position. So there's no real reason for any of the stories this film tells to be told. But he tries to tell all of them in various disparate ways. I think this film has some brilliant highs, but they are way more outmatched by its very desperate lows. And so that would have to average out as, I'm going to say 3.5, 4 at most out of 10.
Oh, savage.
Swappers, what's your opinion on it then, if you would, sir?
Oh, first of all, I'd like to congratulate you on finally getting your, should we say quintology? Or was it septology? I can't remember now. But, in the failure of your trilogy, I think you've done quite well for yourself.
Oh, thank you.
And secondly, the film itself is endeared itself a lot to me over the years. When I first saw it, I came out of the cinema not knowing what to think about it because I was expecting a proper, amazing Star Wars experience, and I didn't quite get it. I felt like I just sat through 2.5 hours of whatever it was of a kids' movie, instead of like, we'd all aged out by this point. Star Wars fans, we wanted something a bit more grown up, and we didn't get it. So that was kind of the biggest disappointment I thought we all had at the time. But a lot since then, after everything else we've got and the Disney owning it and stuff, I've looked back on it a lot more fondly, and I can kind of forgive it for its shortcomings. And it feels a lot more like Star Wars to me now, because I know it comes from George Lucas's heart, and I know it comes from his creative genius, and you can see all his creativity all the way through it, and where it's all coming from in his brain, and the great production art and sound design, special effects. Yeah, they weren't quite there, but the production design and the concept behind it was great, and I thought that was all superb. Pod racing, spaceship design, alien design, I loved all that. I could happily go back and watch it all the way through now and just appreciate it and overlook the down points. So I'd personally, I look back on it a lot fonder, and I'd give it a good 7 out of 10 rather than what I used to give it, which was about 3.5 out of 10.
Bit of positivity there. Well,
Can I just interrogate that? So, what would you give A New Hope?
Counter argument.
Oh, 9.5 out of 10. A New Hope.
What would you give Empire Strikes Back?
That's a 9.8.
So you're saying that there's more, there is more of a quality difference. Sorry, there is less of a quality difference between Phantom Menace and Empire than where? I'm not. I think you might be overplaying Phantom Menace. If you're giving Phantom Menace a 7 and Empire a 9.5 and A New Hope a 9, yeah, is that tenable? Really?
Yeah, I mean, where the hell do you get Last Jedi on the scale here? I mean, you're gonna have to give that a 15.
Like a 1.5.
It's fucking two in the morning, Lost Cod. Give the man a break. It's just go home.
It's midday for the Lord. It's midday.
That's true.
Well, okay. Well, let me see if I can round it all off. We've had, I think, a couple of 5s, Z, Brownie, a couple of 7s, Swappers, Brian. I think Chordy. What did you say, Chordy? 5 was it?
No, it was 3.5 to 4.
Oh, you went low.
Most
3.5.
4.
Went low, yeah.
Yeah, I've been torn between somewhere a 5 and a 6. So
give us your thoughts though before you give us, Matt.
Okay, I'll give you a thought. My thoughts. This has been hilarious and excruciating at the same time. Hilarious, obviously.
Pleasure, pain, hasn't it?
Oh, it has. It's been hilarious.
Mason's knob, really.
To the bitter end, folks.
Hilarious, obviously chewing the fat with you guys and picking the bones out of it. But at times, I don't know, the amount of Jar Jar scenes. I mean, please, who thought it was a good idea to give so much screen time to Jar Jar and so little to Maul?
George Lucas.
Yeah, the mistakes were made. The Brownie, I know you're more of a Star Trek guy, but you're right. There's a good film in here screaming to get out, but it never really did.
Maybe 2 or 3 scripts.
Yeah.
No, in fact, I'm going to
really
say I'm going to say 5 script revisions down the line somewhere with a lot of shit cut out.
Yeah.
Didn't he come out with the first draft of the script about a week before they were due to start filming?
Something like that, yeah. It needed a couple of script doctors to polish it off to sort it.
Started right now way back in 1994, believe it or not.
Well, for me, just too much Jar Jar nonsense, bad CGI, superfluous scenes, and really just things we didn't need. And for me, the whole trilogy only gets going in Attack of the Clones with Hayden. I have to say, I'm sorry to say, I love Maul. We didn't get enough of him. I loved Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon. Obviously, we don't see any more of him, or barely any more of him. For that reason, I was struggling to if I can give a decimal, I give it a 5.5.
No, just full mark, mate.
Oh, 5 then.
Yeah, it's 5, isn't it?
It's 5. That brings us to the end. I can't believe I'm saying it, of the Phantom Menace. I don't believe we must be on 20 odd hours of analysis, of which at least 4 have been pure Liam Neeson dong jokes. So I just want to thank all the people who've got us to this point, not just the ones on tonight, but there've been many others along the way. But obviously the ones who brought it home. Obviously the chat. How good has the chat been, Brown?
I'm just speechless with the generosity. The chat are fantastic. They've stuck with us as well. All this 3 and 3/4 hours. Fucking hell.
2 a.m. almost here.
I know.
In the UK. So thank you, chat. You've been entertaining. You've been insightful. You've kept us going. And thank you to all the retrobates. Thank you to Z3.
Always a pleasure, Sam. Finally, it's all over with. And we just need another 340 subs. And we'll do the entirety of the Attack of the Clones in one hit.
Oh, God. Okay.
Come on, guys. Get your friends subscribed. 3,000 is the goal, and we'll do a 12-hour Attack of the Clones.
12 hours.
Fire up your bot accounts. Get them all logged on here.
Are you sure we can finish it in 12 hours, Brown? That's my only thought. Thank you, Brian.
Cheers, Rune. Thanks also to Brown, Lost Cord, Z, Swappers, and of course the chat. We're very lucky to have you guys. And thanks for sticking with us throughout. I don't know how you've done it. I was nearly bailing myself. Never mind.
I almost threw a sickie tonight, but no, we saw it through. Just a quick super chat there from MJ. They're still rolling in. He says, I, for one, will miss Liam's cock. It will forever be known as the Liam Neeson cock stream. Swappers, thank you, sir. What a joy you've been with your accents and your Palpatine.
I look forward to coming back for the Attack of the Clones.
Well, we may be doing that in one mammoth session. And Lord Chord, the Lord has spoken, and we did it, Lord. Are you glad to see the back of this film? Are you looking forward to Attack of the Clones?
I am, because Palpatine has a lot more spoken parts, so Swapper's throat will sound like it has been ravaged by Liam Neeson's cock by the end of that film if he's doing all of these impressions. But no, I love the prequels. I love Democracy. I love The Republic. And so I've really enjoyed the ones I've been on, and I'm very much looking forward to the next one. So yeah, it's been great fun, and chat's been amazing. And next time you're on, give me a shout. I'll be here.
Excellent.
Regret it, I think we will.
Brownie, last word for you, because it's your channel, and
it's been fun, folks. Ruin, just brilliant, mate.
Thank you.
I don't think the show would be half as good if you weren't here.
Oh,
in fact,
well, that's very nice.
In fact, I know it'd be better.
Well, it's put about 10 years on me, this thing. But,
if I may, I'll just say a big thank you to Nikki Vellahan and Common People. You guys, send me an email through the About page, and I would like to personally thank you for your incredible generosity.
He's going to send you a dick pic.
And that as well.
Well, we did it, folks. So until next time, and we don't know when the next time will be, who will be with, and what it will be about. But hey, if the subs go the right way, it could be a ginormous Attack of the Clones session.
We are back at the weekend doing the musing stuff. I'm possibly thinking of doing a little Superman show for Friday, with all the big Superman news that's dropped this week. Maybe just a little kind of go through all the Supermen and, a little bit of a stream talking about Superman, because I fear, it's big news with what's-his-face. So possibly, but we'll be back definitely on Sunday. Next Wednesday, we're going to do a movie. Don't know yet.
Indiana Jones.
You're not here, though, are you?
No.
Okay. There will be a movie.
Common
We'll
people
decide.
want you to do Taken.
Listen, okay. We'll do listen, we will do. It's paid for it. I'll do Taken next week then.
Oh, bloody hell. There you go,
Yeah.
common people. It's
We'll
on.
do Taken 1. Yeah,
I'll
okay.
look forward to that. I'll watch that on the catch-up.
That's it then, folks.
We're done. We're out
Do
at
you wanna-
1
do you wanna
minute
see
past
us out?
2 a.m.
Almost 4 hours.
Do you want to see us out then, Ruin? Your final words.
My final words to you is, look, life can be hard, but when you've got a dong like Liam Neeson, anything is possible. Farewell, man babies. Until next time, may the force be with you. Good night.
Take care, everybody. Take care.
Goodbye.
Bye.
See you later.
Bye.